Yeah! Live from Cafe Willoughby with your hosts Tyler Brown and Sam I Am Willoughby, Sir Richard Fiswell, and the baddest BMXers and industry heavy hitters on the planet. Let's get it on!
We are live from Cafe Willoughby. Konnichiwa.
Alright, there we go. We are live from Cafe Willoughby, like our man Juki, otherwise known as Party Man, or Party Time.
Party time.
Oh, we got a heck of a show today, Sam.
We do. There's not much to talk about.
Going on? You have nothing to talk about? There's nothing going on. You were there. You were live.
I was live.
How was Salt Lake?
It was good. It was my first race back in 10 months, so
yeah,
a little bit daunting for me going up there, but it was really easy. Everyone was really cool, and it's good to see everyone again and catch up with everyone. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Perfect.
So it's kind of good to be back at the track, see everybody, and you got to watch your fiance go kick some butt and get a couple wins.
I did. Yeah, I got this. Even Jukio was on course.
Yeah, party time.
Watch
party
Jukio.
Time.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. It was really hot, really windy. Track was, I would say, watching not the best Salt Lake track that I've seen, but nonetheless, it was pretty good.
Yeah. That the track it's a good like local setup as far as like having like asphalt parking lot and everything like that. But even though I did notice watching, jumps looked a little small for the elite guys and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it was almost tight and steep for the amount of speed they had, but yeah, it was good racing, and there was actually quite a few guys there and quite a few women as well. So both classes had semis on day one, and then just the men on day two.
Yeah, very good. And then beyond that, we're going to have Connor Fields. He's going to be calling in. He's the big winner from last weekend. So we're going to be getting Connor Fields here in on the phone. That'll be good. Get some insight from him. And I don't know if you guys heard, there's like this little Olympic thing that kind of changed over the last week. So we might just talk about this really small race that's going to happen in a couple years called the Olympics. Have you heard of it?
It actually is going to be a really small race.
It really will be, because there's...
No, it's going to be big. There's more.
Oh, there's more...
Less guys though.
Yeah, less guys, more women.
Yeah.
They're going to be partying. It's going to be a good one. But we also have the addition of Freestyle BMX. Skate Park's going to be in. So we're going to have somebody who knows a little bit more about it than we do, but still a racer background. Dennis Enarson. The guy kills everything on a bike. So really stoked to have him in studio. Not sure when he's going to show up, so we might just have to talk about nothing for a little while. But eventually he'll be here and get some insight. And
yeah, it'll be good to get his take on it. I mean, as racers, we've all had our things to say and this week, and I think pretty much everyone's excited to have another BMX discipline in the Olympics. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you some insight from a freestyler.
Yeah, so we also want to hear from you guys. I'm going to pop this number up on the screen real quick. You guys are going to love our fancy Photoshop skills we have going on. So that is the 1-800 number. Do me a favor, everybody write that number down, because we are going to be using the phone lines later. Do we have any voicemails this week?
We got a couple.
We got a couple voicemails. Yep. People are going to be calling in. But more importantly, we want to hear from you guys. That's how this show works. That's the only way we get better, is we hear from you guys. So once we start talking about the Olympic stuff, phone lines will be open. Also, we're doing our best to correct all the technical difficulties. So if there's a problem with the audio, if there's something going on, let us know. We'll do our best to correct it. And I think everything's kind of about it, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is that a wrap on the show? We'll see you guys next week. So get into Salt Lake City. We kind of touched on it a little bit. What I noticed is a lot more men seem to be there than Nashville.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I think being close to California, where a lot of guys are based, it's a quick drive, 8 hours or 10 hours or something, or an easy flight. So there was more guys there, and I think as well, the Nashville was right on the back of 2 World Cups in Europe, so it's hard for guys to back up. But yeah, it was a good turnout. I mean, all the vans were there.
The vans, did they drive their van from Nashville?
They drove the van, so they all rolled in. A few French guys, Mahu, Andre, Dode, and then obviously the top US guys, Connor and Corbin, but no long.
No long
shot.
Fitzwell was...
He was wrong.
Same size frame. I mean, I'm super tall too. So the local GT rider.
She was doing pretty well. She was mixing it up. I don't think she did as good in the mains, but in the motos and stuff, she was mixing it up.
Yeah, she get a couple top threes.
She did.
I mean, she is the national #1 amateur girl for like a couple of years now. So I'd expect her to, especially on her home track, kind of expect her to be kind of in the mix a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw she had a good little crash, and I think the first day she like high-sided off somebody's tire going into turn 1.
Yeah.
So, but shout out to Lauren since she's in studio. That was a killer move you made in the first main on Friday. Turn 1, just going low, making it happen. I like it. So we got a video from the women's racing.
Airborne Ariel was back.
Did she race or was she just
raced
coaching?
day 1?
Did she? How'd she do?
She didn't make the cut.
She needs a Supercross hill, bro. Grandma brought. She needs a Supercross.
Our 2 weeks ago in studio guest Vilma. Vilma made the main. Yeah, day 2 made the main. So.
All right, V-Dog mixing it up.
V-Dog was mixing it up for the Tangent Cartel.
There we go, getting it done. You want to take a peek at this video real quick, the ladies racing?
Let's put the ladies up.
We only have a 1-day video. We don't know which one it is. Elise wins both days, so we're not sure which one. We'll just play it.
These videos thanks to USA BMX and Gmo.
Yeah, shout out Gmo. Good work, bud. So here we go. We've got a women.
Gate coming down with the ladies right now. 250 on the line for the Answer Whole Shot Award. Got to be post Soriano into that first turn. We're going to go. Oh, a few of them going down hard right there. Post going to get the little cha-ching. Extra 250 for the Whole Shot Award. Soriano on the 2 spot. Turn away to that podium. Pro Max, GW Colors, the Stars and Bars, your national champion, your current number 1. Back to the line. Post Soriano. Reynolds go 1, 2, and 3.
So that was day 2. So yeah, Soriano got 2nd and Lauren 3rd. And day 1, Lauren and Elise were 1, 2, and I think it was Shaylin was 3rd.
Yeah.
So Gmo did send us that video, but it got close to showtime and we didn't have time to download it. So
we had to chop it. We didn't have enough bandwidth to be downloading all the stuff.
But you get the gist of it, you know. Yeah. You get the ducking gist of it. The girls, they're out there, they're racing, they're riding, they're doing it.
They're doing it all. While we're on the subject, Elise, where was the triple into turn 1?
Didn't have it this year.
No answer for us. Your
pancakes weren't good.
Isn't she your athlete? Why didn't she triple into the first turn?
My coach
We
told
keep
me
the
not
wheels.
to.
We keep it rubber side down.
That's stupid.
That's what we do.
I was actually looking forward to just seeing a big tabletop into turn 1.
She's just playing her cards here. She's got double gold coming up here in a few years. You know, there's big things on the horizon.
There's a couple gold medals she's eyeing up for 2020. Are we going to get into that later?
We're going to work on airtime later.
There's some top secret news. This is the speed. Then we'll hit the air later.
We're going to hit the air later.
Perfect, Coach. Perfect. Any standouts you saw on the women's side of things?
I mean, obviously Elise won both days and was pretty dominant. I mean, I'm pretty biased here. I mean, obviously I helped 2 of the girls in the class, Lauren and Elise, and they both rode really well. So I felt Lauren rode a lot better this weekend than she had all year. So that was good. But I was pretty impressed with Soriano. I don't know how to say her name.
Soriano?
She's from Argentina, but she I was sitting with Christian on day 1 quite a bit, and he trains her, and she's a really strong chick and really nice girl, and she actually rode pretty well. A little bit hit and miss, but rode good.
She's got some real power.
Yeah.
I've kind of been watching her a little bit lately myself, because to be honest, I didn't really know who she was, and I see this girl shooting up for podiums in the women's pro class and stuff like that. So she's definitely got some power. I think she might need to work on the bike skills a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's definitely a rider to keep an eye on for the women's pro class, because I think she will be one of the ones that has potential to start getting on that podium a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when she puts it together, she was quick. But
especially now that Brooke's out, because she's down for a little bit, so she'll be out for a while. That kind of frees up a spot in that main event. And I think she'd probably be one that can consistently start kind of pushing it up there.
Yeah.
So we have a few girls that you have Elise is obviously up there. Lauren's been kicking butt and getting on the podium a lot. But you're starting to see some new girls get on the podium, like with Shaylin Reno and Soriana and stuff like that. So it could be a good opportunity for some other girls to kind of get some podium experience while Brooke's out and see what happens, come back.
For sure.
For sure. So let's get to the men. We will play, I think this is day 1 here. So go ahead, guys, check out Elite Men, day number 1.
Gate is down, so we've got the pull to take this one downtown for a big hole shot. Answer 250 from Answer. Oh, Kimmon coming in hot. Looks like it's going to be the gold medalist. Conman. Connor Fields out front. Fields, Sherrod going to go 1 and 2 coming in that second turn. Smith is on the move right now, and he's looking for a piece of the podium. Kimmon sitting on that 3 spot coming in the last turn. Oh, here goes Sherrod trying to find a way, but it's all Fields. Sherrod 1 and 2 down the last straight. Kimmon sitting on the 3s. Back to the line to go. Fields, Sherrod, Kimmon, Smith.
Bam, and that was day 1.
Yeah, it was the weekend was pretty much dominated by Connor. He was going into the weekend. I'll be honest. I thought the race would have been between. I mean, obviously, you always know Connor's going to be in the mix, but I really thought Joris would have been the guy to beat there, and Connor was outstanding, honestly, to watch. He was really good. So, and I don't want to sound like I'm gargling his balls, but he was really good.
He was pretty good. Pull him out. We'll talk about the race. No, I think a couple big things to note. Looks like Joris obviously did good in the semi, getting gate 1.
Yeah.
Looked like Joris kind of choked out of the gate a little bit. He wheelied down the hill. Connor took advantage of it, got a good start, shut him down right away, and was gone. One thing that I saw that Connor was doing, it looked like he didn't quit pedaling down the first straightaway till he hit that triple.
Yeah, he was pedaling into that first jump, out of it, over the roller, and just pulling away every lap. And so he was really good. Sylvain was pretty good all weekend as well, and he bit of unlucky in the final on day 1, but day 2 he was second. So
now I wasn't there since you were. I only got to see the main events via Instagram Live because that's all that Live feeds them. How was that Connor Joris battle all day? Was there anything anything going on all day?
Honestly, Connor he won every lap. I think. I don't think he might have. Joris got him in the semi on day 1, so then I thought for the final it might be a bit of a race, but he beat him off the start, and that was it. But yeah, he was pretty dominant both days.
Okay. Looked like we saw Jeremy Smith getting in there too. He's another one that's kind of starting to creep in there a little bit more.
Long shot!
It was long shot? That definitely caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that yell in the corner. You want to take a peek at day number 2 here? Let's check out day number 2.
Gate coming down, elite men, here we go. Gonna get on the gas. Mayhew's got a pretty good shot in the inside, taking it into turn number 1. Andre gonna get down low, but looks like Mayhew gonna go cha-ching for the whole shot award. That's Fields on the top spot. Oh, I got it wrong. In and out we're gonna go. It's all the gold medalists on the top spot, bringing them back around. Andre on that 2 with the 148 of Van Gant sitting on the 3 spot. In and out of that last turn we're gonna go. Fields doubling down for the weekend, coming back to the line. It's gonna be Fields on the top spot. Andre gonna get the 2, Van Gant on your 3.
Another day. That one was pretty good. One thing that I think we didn't talk about day number 1 is Corbin really started creeping on the second half of the track. I like that Corbin was doing that different line towards the end of the rhythm section on the 3rd straightaway, and Corbin really pulled up to Connor and almost had something for him going down that last straightaway.
Yeah, almost, but not quite.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. You just got to win, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that one was a little bit easier.
As Nick would say.
Honestly, I don't really care. I'm not up for any title.
I just played just sound drop where you don't really care.
You have a sound bite. You're not up for titles.
But yeah, I mean, day 2 again was won pretty easily by Connor. Sylvain probably could have ran him down if his disc brake wasn't rubbing.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, Sylvain's disc brake held him up. So
yeah, he needs to bleed the brakes. The calipers are rubbing on the disc. The disc was bent a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a slide. Jelly crashed, and Sylvain drifted to miss him.
His brakes were amazing.
And his brakes were amazing then, but I think it might have bent the rotor, whatever it's called. I don't have one of those stupid things. So it slowed him down the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So if Sylvain wouldn't have had that dang disc brake on, you win some, you lose some. And I think we got somebody to say something
rookie
about
numbers
it.
in this racket.
Yeah. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's see. So we do have Connor Fields. He's going to jump on the phone call. So should we give him a chat and kind of hear what we had to say about that?
You might as well chat to the winner.
All right. Winner, chicken dinner. Let's get him on the phone here. And remember, guys, me and Sam do have our phones on us. So if you guys want to text us something, give us a call, anything like that. While we're getting Connor on the phone, one other thing that we ask is everybody go ahead and share this video. Let everybody know what you're watching right now and get those views up so we can start getting some people watching, getting some fans in. And let's give old Connor a call real quick. The Condor, Con Man.
Sylvain's going to go brakeless next time.
So, going brakeless?
Yeah.
Just rip him off, Sylvain.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hello. Yo, what's going on, man? You are live on Cafe Willoughby. What are you up to?
I am eating some dinner. My girlfriend grilled up some chicken and some vegetables, and I just sat down, and I'm enjoying the conversation about the disc brake.
Yeah. Are you putting one of those on your Chase carbon fiber frame anytime soon?
You'll be thinking about money.
No, to be honest, I'm not the best mechanic. I can barely figure out speed brakes, so I don't even want to mess with the disc brake.
Put one on the front.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at. It's moving forward. You need them on the front.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one.
Fair enough. So thanks for giving us a call, taking some time out of your dinner. We just wanted to hear, first of all, hear from you. You're the big winner, man. You killed it last weekend, taking a win both days. So how did the weekend go for you? How was the track, the wet weather? You seem to have a lot of riders in attendance. How'd things go?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I like Utah. I think it's a beautiful place. I mean, at the end of the day, the track's pretty basic. I think I won the finals both days without jumping a single jump on the entire track. And it was really windy, so I mean, it wasn't necessarily like the greatest conditions, but at the end of the day, there's still a race to be had. You know, there's still 29 guys that were there, and everybody was fast. And, you know, half the Olympics was in attendance, so I just focused on doing my thing and you know, trying to put my best foot forward on the weekend.
There you go, man. It looked like you did a good job out there. One question, is this your first ever Elite Men double where you won both days?
No, I've done it a couple other times. I did it in Ventura 2015 and South Park in 2016. I've done it a couple times.
Okay, very good, man. Very good.
Yeah, so, I mean, you were obviously listening before, so I was obviously there on the weekend and was gargling your balls a little earlier, but you were pretty much the dominant guy, like, just, to be honest, you killed it all day. Or both days really, and I guess our question that we had here was going into the race. I mean, Joris has kind of been that guy for a couple of years on the flat hills and been pretty dominant there, and going in on paper, you know, from the last few races on the smaller hills, people would have maybe picked him, but no one really had anything for you. What sort of changed between I guess Atlanta and here for you?
And I appreciate the gargle. Thanks for the kind words. But you know, I think for me, to be honest, it was really hard for me at the start of the season. You know, with coming off the Olympics and stuff. If I could go back, I actually think I would have taken a bit more time off. I just wasn't really mentally quite ready to just get back in the ring after the whole Olympics, and then I actually had wrist surgery again in December. But the first couple races of the year, I didn't do so well. I kind of got punched in the mouth, and you know, I did my best to take it on the chin, and then just start trying to get better. And every race, the last 5 or 6 races have gotten better. I got a win in Austin, I got another one in Atlanta, and just kind of got the ball rolling. And I feel like now I've gotten where I'm in a good place, and I'm able to compete anywhere, anytime.
That's good, man. That's good. One thing that we wanted to talk to you about, too, is you and Joris are definitely two of the top guys on the series this year. You guys have gone back and forth a lot. Being that you guys are teammates, what is it like sitting under the pits, sharing a hotel room, all that same kind of stuff with the guy who's not only your biggest competitor for maybe the day, but probably for the overall year-end title as well?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic. But at the end of the day, I think that we've got that mutual respect where, we understand that what happens on the track is racing, and then when the race is over, regardless of how the day goes for either of us, like, that's it, the day's done, and it's time to get Chipotle and go back to the hotel. And we race each other aggressively, but, neither of us are ever going to go out and T-bone each other or do anything crazy. So I think there's just, it's just a respect thing, and understanding that race is racing, and the stuff off the bike's off the bike, and we both have been doing it for a couple of years now, and we've both got 4-year contracts, so we're going to have to do it again for the next 3 years, and no point in making anything out of it. It's just, it is what it is, and we hang out, we get along well, and it's all good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How'd you like the track out there this weekend?
I mean, it's a bit small. I understand. I think it's a tough situation when you're building a national track because they had 180 motos on the weekend, and they had 29 pros. So at the end of the day, obviously they're going to have to build the track for the masses, and they're going to try to make something that the majority of people that go out there are going to like. But obviously for us, it's pretty small. I mean, that first turn is right on the limit of too small for us, and the jumps are a bit tight, but at the end of the day, like I said, you got to build it for the majority of people that are going out there and paying the bills. And for us, we just got to make the best of it.
Yeah, man, I was watching one of the laps, and I know that you run a pretty big bike. It looked like your bike was barely fitting in some of those jumps down that second straightaway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my bike's half the length of, I know Nick Long's in the house.
No, he runs a double XL, same size bike as mine now, same size as mine.
Actually going to an XL soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he's going to an XL, I think a Pro.
Bro.
It's tight out there. Like that third and fourth straight, those were real tight. You had to be on point, otherwise you were going to, do what Yoshi did in that main event.
Oh, yeah, he rode the bowl through there, huh?
Yeah.
Are you saying
It was
Japanese
tough
bull?
'cause, it was windy. Sam was out there. I mean, it was like, 30 mile an hour wind pushing you down the third straightaway. So you came out of that turn, it's already downhill. So I mean, it was real tight.
All right, so now that Salt Lake's over, I mean, there's really one more race and then the Worlds. What's kind of your plans for the next couple of months? Is it South Park on the radar, or is it just 100% focused towards the Worlds?
No, I'll go to South Park, and then the Worlds. I mean, there's about a month, I think, between now and South Park, so there's still plenty of time. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to make a serious run and go for the USA BMX title this year, as well as the world title. And for the next month, it's just going to be training and doing what I can to be ready for those races. And I'm not going to really change much. Just focus on every day one at a time and doing the process. I mean, you know how it is, Sam. It's just taking it each day at a time and trying to show up ready when it counts.
Yep.
Now, one last question. The fans might not know this, but being the big-time professional athlete that you are and the stuff that you have to sometimes miss out on, you had a superstar chance to go to Hawaii last minute, and you skipped out on that for the USA BMX Pro Series race. What did you miss? What did you miss because you're so dedicated to being an elite AA pro?
I actually still could have made it to Salt Lake, but it was just this crazy thing. So there's a show on Nickelodeon, I guess it was like a competition where they match a kid up with their hero, and they have like some athletic competition in Hawaii. And I guess it was like a gymnast or something that got injured or dropped out, so they couldn't do it. And so I got a phone call because I guess one of the kids out there was a BMXer, and they asked if I could come down, and they wanted me to fly to Hawaii on Tuesday, film on Tuesday night, and then fly home on Wednesday afternoon. I would have arrived home at like Thursday.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
And then gone to Salt Lake on the weekend. I was thinking about doing it because like it's a huge opportunity for the sport. I mean, getting in front of millions of people like that on Nickelodeon, and anytime. I mean, you're going to Hawaii. It's not like you're asking me to go to a bad place, but at the end of the day, I decided that if I did that, I was probably not going to be feeling great going into Salt Lake. So.
And it looks like it paid off. Looks like you made the right choice, and it paid off. Man, you see that, guys? That's the dedication. You're giving up free trips to Hawaii.
Should have sent Sean.
Yeah.
It was tough because it was one of those things where it was like, you don't have a crystal ball, Like, had I gone to Salt Lake and had a bad weekend, I would have been sitting here thinking, damn, I should have went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
But you just gotta try and make the best out of it.
Well, you did your thing, man. You did your thing.
Yeah, you made the right call.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Thank you.
All right, anything else, Sam, before we say bye to Con Man?
That's all I got.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for the call. We'll definitely have you on and talk about other stuff, but thanks for your insight on the weekend, and it was good chatting to you.
All right, boys. No worries. Have a good show.
All right, thanks, man. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
All right.
There it is.
Did he do the chicken dance before the main event?
Don't know. Couldn't see. I struggled to. Couldn't see. I couldn't get up high enough to see it behind the staging area.
Down at the finish line. You used to do for those viewers at home, your Olympic gold medalist used to do the chicken dance before the main event at every single race when he was like 10 years old.
I took part
Okay.
in DeSoto.
Elise, you did the chicken dance?
I took part in DeSoto.
Okay, so for those of you that didn't know, Elise, your silver medalist, took part in the chicken dance as well. Me being a pro trying to get ready to race, I wanted to strangle these kids down at the finish line doing the chicken dance.
Jim Carrey just said, "All righty then."
All right.
It's time.
What do we got? Are we sticking some forks in it?
It's time to put some forks in it.
All right, guys. So this is a really important part of the show where we need to be hearing from you guys. We got a few Sylvian wants to see the chicken dance. Sylvian, we're not doing the chicken dance, bro. Go pull your disc brakes. It ain't happening.
We may do it towards the end of the show, or someone might. I mean,
Depends on how much of this Sam drinks if you start doing the chicken dance.
I would love to do the chicken dance.
All right, so what do we got here? So we want to hear from you guys. You guys know the answer, sticking a fork in it segment. This is where we ask each other a series of questions, and it's just a quick answer. Either you keep it or you stick a fork in it.
Well, I mean, we got one here right in the chat room now from Lindsay Cornino? I don't know who that is. But anyway, she says that girls rule, boys drool. Let's put a fucking fork in men's racing. The wise words of Salt and Pepper. Let's talk about sex, baby. I agree. Put a fork in the men.
Get rid of the fellas. Let's just go all ladies. 32 women. No, we can jump up to 48 women at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's 48 women.
We just have a bunch of rollers. It'll be great.
They should do
just a bunch of bouncing.
And they do both disciplines, and it's an average score. So
okay.
You do freestyle and racing.
Freestyle one day.
Best average.
Racing the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do they have to do the berm jump?
That's where the freestyle goes.
Yeah. No BJs, no berm jumps.
All right. What's our next one here?
It looks like, we're going to keep on that. That was actually a perfect topic.
Now that we're on that note.
The first thing that we had on the list.
Women's freestyle.
Women's freestyle. I think Fitzwell touches on this one. We're just going to...
As Sam, keep it. I think it's great that it's in the Olympics.
Because you're all about equality.
I am.
You're all about women's rights. I mean, you want everything...
Equal.
You just said you wanted more women. Less men, more women.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'll go out on a limb and I'll put a fork in women's freestyle.
Fitzwell already tried that.
Because here's the problem with that. I think there's going to be a lot more men that deserve to be there. Not to say that the ladies don't, but that's a whole other subject we'll touch on soon.
Okay.
Anyway, you got any on there?
All right. Yeah, I guess on a side note, Grindle's got a good point. The announcer Grindle, he's always got the hot takes. So
stick a fork in Grindle.
We should have said it after Connor's interview. Go to Nickelodeon.com, vote for Connor and Elise. They're up for... what are you up for?
Oh, yeah, the don't try it at home sport.
Don't try it at home sport, so do that.
That's great publicity for the sport. All you kids, don't try it at home.
All right, so back to put a fork in it. Tubeless tires. Put a fork in them.
Fork that. That's stupid. Fork it.
Tubes keep this industry alive.
Have you ever tried to change a tubeless tire? Honestly, for one, you're not pumping it up past 60 PSI, so you're rolling off the rim. For two, have you ever tried to change a tubeless tire? I'm being serious.
No, I haven't. No.
It is a nightmare.
Yeah, I know.
I finally got sick of it. Took the razor blade, cut the stupid thing off, and put a tube in the wheel.
I think if someone can make a good one, it'd be great, but I know that I trialed it a little bit with IRC, and they don't really hold up too good.
No.
For how fast we hit turns and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I think
scary.
if a system eventually got down the road, I think it would be good. But for right now, the current system,
Yep.
No. So skip that. I saw one. How about for you, Sam? Nationals in California. Fork it or no?
Bring them back.
Thank you.
Yeah, bring them back. Then I'll go to them.
You go to one?
I'll go watch them.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Speaking of USA BMX races, Gold Cup having 6 regions.
6 regions.
Everybody gets a cup. No, everybody gets a cup. Give it to all the cups. A cup for you, a cup for you. You have a red cup. Give somebody a gold cup.
How do you break the US into 6 regions?
Thank you. I'm going to fork that too.
2 lines down the middle, there's 3.
Fork that. What it was before wasn't bad. It was a west, a central, and an east.
Yeah, there's the fucking left, there's the middle, and there's the right.
Keep that. Fork the rest. We got any other ones on there?
What do we got? Ladies out there breaking bones, 2, they deserve their spots.
That's actually not a fork in it or not.
10-4, Sarah Lambert, we agree.
Roger, copy that, but that's not a fork in it question. So good to have the lady freestyle chicks watching, though. We appreciate you tuning in and viewing the show tonight.
Alrighty, next question. We had USA BMX taking the top 10 best scores for the pros.
I think this is a heated one. I need to ask you this. Okay, this is a heated one because I know you have some feelings on this. So, forking it or no? USA BMX taking 10 best scores for the overall pro title.
Put a fork in it. If you're going to run a pro series, it's every race counts.
Now, what do they do in Supercross?
Every race counts.
All right, well, there you go. How many of those races are there? Pretty good amount, huh?
I don't know, 17 or something.
Yeah, well, if those guys can do it, there's no reason that we can't go to 11 weekends.
I think that would create... You wouldn't have what we have where like the top guys show up to certain races.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have like Nashville where you had 12 riders only. Mm-hmm. So I would agree with that one. Fork that one. All right. Sarah Walker making UCI racing decisions.
Well, put a fork in it.
Fork in that.
If we're going to do equality, we need equal genders.
Representation.
We do.
Yes.
Is there a male rep for UCI? Anyone on the chat room?
Anybody know? Anybody in the know? Anybody in the studio know?
I don't know who it is. If there is.
None of us actually care about our sport. We just care about ourselves, so it doesn't really matter. I don't even know what this question is.
Gmo's got a stat here. This weekend was the first time Joris didn't make a podium this year.
Well, son of a gun.
Thank you, Gmo. Put a fork in that. If you're Joris, Joris will put a fork in Salt Lake.
Yeah, put a fork in that one. That one's done for Joris.
All right, next one we had time trials. Yeah. Bring them back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
I didn't mind the. I'm gonna go like a halfway fork because I didn't like the all day where there's like. Could you imagine Paul with 190 riders doing time trials?
You're old. That's been out for years.
Yeah, I know.
What about just top 16?
Top 16 was legit. I'll give that. We can do a top 16. Make those guys already pre-qualified like they did before, and just the top 16 let them rip around the track. I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Connor Fields says time trials at Worlds only. So maybe Connor at Worlds just do the time trials because we know that Connor kills it. So no actual racing, just time trials.
Just the time trial world champ.
Just time trial world champ.
Separate events.
Cancel the racing, just time trials.
Cancel the racing, just that.
I think they could bring back. I think that was a good system, like just top 16 did a hot lap on Friday and.
I would agree.
Whatever, everyone's a winner.
I think it kind of added something to.
It didn't change the racing at all.
I guess it would be a little bit difficult though with 2 days racing. You have to do 2 days time trials.
No, just run it Friday. Just run it Friday. Just the top 16. Do it Friday, and it's points.
Just as part of a practice show.
Yeah, just as a bit of a show Friday, and it's points. So like if you're in the top 16, you can earn like some bonus points towards the overall. Yeah,
that's kind of not fair though, because what if you're like 17th and you miss the whole opportunity?
If you're 17th, you're not up for the title. Let's be honest.
Okay, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. All right, what's the next one on here? Bikes claiming USA design.
Yeah, like what does that mean? Put a fork in that. Like designed in the US.
So what that means is that dude sat behind a
that you can't.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's Friday, Saturday.
I think it should have been. Smoking with
there.
Coming back to BMX racing for 2018. I doubt it.
No, they are. What? Mongoose is making race frames again.
Who said?
Mongoose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we can't put a fork in it then.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put a fork in it. It's not bad to have a.
I bought a Super Goose.
I
used to race on a Super Goose. I bought one because Joe Bradford had one.
Nice.
Bum
Oh
bum bum.
yeah. We got any sound bites for that one? Any other ones on there?
How about Pro Level 2 USA funding for Worlds having to pay $800 to get a massage, bunk with a buddy while competing for your country? Fork that, says Holly Tillman.
Okay, so you know what that is?
That's just girlfriend.
Okay, so what is it?
So if you made it to Worlds, if you're part of the elite team, you have the option of paying $800 and going with Team USA.
$800 massage.
Or doing your own thing. But with that $800, I think they'll provide transportation, room, massages. I think you still have to get your own flight.
Get your own flight. Here's the deal. Make the team. Get your own flight. Call David Herman. He drives for Lyft.
Yeah.
He'll take you to the track and go down to the local rub and tug and get a rub.
For like $40.
Put a fork in it.
What a steal of a deal. That sounds nice. All right. Any more good ones on there?
Apple iPhone says designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. That's where that came from. Well, if you write it like that, I'm all about it.
Well, and that's Apple. We're talking about bike frames here.
No, but if they write it like that, then that's fine.
Whole sticker on the frame.
Could you imagine like a whole sentence on there?
Yeah, put a sentence on there.
Like around the whole chainstay?
Yeah.
Designed in the USA, made in Taiwan.
And write who designed it. Put a story on there.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Well, you can also put their social media on the inside like everybody does around and stuff too.
Well, that is the answer for Put a Fork in It segment.
See you later, Answer Forks. We're going to put these to the side. And I think what we have next, your buddy called in.
He did.
Did he?
He copped a bit of heat this week, old Fitzwell.
It was a rough week for Fitzy.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen on Instagram, he got a little rowdy. He put an edit together, and
First edit ever.
that's his first edit. It is his first edit. I think he needs to probably get his own page. He's got to stop going through me.
It's causing you some drama. I feel like.
I can't be responsible for Fitzwell's crap.
Let's ask the viewers if all 91 of you viewing, if Fitzwell had his own on his own Instagram, would you guys follow Fitzwell? Put that on there.
There you go.
There you go. Message it on the chat room. We want to know if you guys would follow Fitzwell. Maybe we'll see if he can get us if he can get his own Instagram.
All right.
Hold it up to your mic.
Let's have a look here. I do have the voicemail, so just talk to the
talk
to the audience in the meantime.
Go ahead, pull that up. We are going to be speaking of voicemails. We are going to throw our 1-800 number on. Make sure you guys write that down. And we're going to be calling in here. We're going to let you guys call in a bit once we start talking Olympic stuff. So it'll be good to have you guys in. And it looks like this guy might have Fitzwell queued up. You got him queued up?
I got him queued up. So we're going to hold his voicemail up to the phone and up to the mic so you guys can hear it. And you're going to play his intro? I mean, the guy deserves an intro.
The guy does deserve an intro. So here we're going to hit you.
He's copped it this week.
We're going to hit you with Fitzwell's intro, and then we'll get straight into Fitz. Here's his intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
All right,
there you go. There's Fitzwell.
Dick me wrong, dick me right, dick me any way you like, boys. What a week. Fitzwell is excited. Where do I start? The Salt Lake race, 8 more women racing for gold, women's freestyle, or equal pay for equal right account at the Olympics. The topics are endless. Boy, did my last edit get some attention. Whilst I have been in race for going on a month now, my 12-hour stint in women's freestyle was short, but fuck, it was fun. Let's just say Dick overstayed his welcome there with the ladies. I didn't make it out to Salt Lake. As Sam was going, I decided to cover our bases and headed to the Women's Freestyle World Cup. No, I did not. But they will be going 2 in, 1 out, no doubt, for a gold medal in 2020. Good on them. But equal numbers for men and women. Tell me this is hashtag fake news, Donald, please. All right, Salt Lake City, Mormon country. It was a dust bowl and as dry as Desert Storm out there, but that didn't get in the way of a good old show. We had a van full of vans. Stromberg was back briefly. Fields and Dorday were going head-to-head for title points. In the women's, we had Post, Reynolds, Soriano, Bonarenko said no go. They are all too slow. Bow created rumblings but did not produce an appearance. Something is brewing, though. Fields showed up ready with more ammunition than the Albania country in the Cold War. Dorday was riding for a pay rise, but Fields said, not today, son, get in line. My picks of Dorday and Stromberg's were about as accurate as your local weatherman. The Vans weekend was up and down like a bride's nightie. Van Gorkum took the van off-roading on day 1. Kidman said, give me the keys, I'm going to the fucking main. He dropped the clutch and drove home in 3rd. Day 2, Van Gorkum blew the tyres off the van. Our favourite van at the show, Davo Van, said, give me a drive. He had it stuck in first gear, leading laps, but hesitant to use the accelerator. He almost drove it to the main on day 2 until the big fella blew a tyre in the final bend. That's what you get for chewing on your tyres between laps, Dave. Van Ged said, my turn to drive in the final of day 2. Basta Beaver put the 165s on with the 60-14 and said, drive that, you strong little prick. Van Ged left it in high gear and drove home for a 3rd. Last week's guest and everyone's favourite Frenchman, Sylvain Andre, produced a 2nd and a 7th, and after tax he scored himself enough cash to fuel the rental car from Salt Lake City to the Nevada border, where Fields said, jump in the Audi, I've got shitloads of cash, thanks to your people, ride my coattails one more time, son, and home they went. The women's class was not surprisingly jam-packed. 18 beautiful women turned up after the big announcement. They're all going in 2020. Even Airborne Ariel was back. No signs of Buchanan. She is perfecting the backflip for 2020, where we might see double gold bikes. Day 1 and 2 posts-only competition was verbal with the red-headed UCI dictator and his clipboard as he demanded shirts tucked in, flags on sleeves. I will say, though, he leads by example with those breeches pulled just north of his belly button. Reynolds stayed away from the salad bar and rode in for a second and a third. Argentina's Soriente scored a second on day 2. Her starts were later than a pregnant woman's menstrual cycle, but her explosivity was bow-like. She could be one to watch here in the future. The talk of the weekend is this new Olympic format, which has the men screaming for equality. 8 more women, 8 less men. And the manhunt begins for 8 more women to race down the hill. I said race, not ride. I just thought of one name, New Zealand's Sarah Walker, conveniently assisting with the rules. With Freestyle's addition, Elite Tracks is back and has got the proposal in to build the box jump already. I've had some inquiries around sex changes and running for double gold. I called the IOC, and you do have to go 2 in, 1 out to qualify, meaning 2 tits and the shaft is out. So it does take some commitment, lads. Well, that's all I have for tonight. I look forward to hearing the back and forward banter. And just in closing, when in doubt, go 2 in, 1 out.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Well, I think the show's over. All right, guys.
That's Fitzwell's Fitz for the week.
Fitzwell, this guy is just taking things to a new level. I don't even really know what to say beyond that.
Yeah, he's got his opinions.
What's this guy doing up in Canada, man? Where did he get his views from the weekend?
He doesn't have many credentials.
Yeah, so he's just kind of hanging out, reading the internet, thinking he knows it all, huh?
I guess.
Yeah, Fitzwell. So we are gonna go from that one. Looks like the fans loved that one. We're up to 102 viewers now. So as soon as Fitzwell jumps on, the crowd goes wild.
Well.
So we have this little thing we want to talk about. Should we just get into why everybody's here?
Jump into it.
All right, guys. So there was some big news over the weekend that we just let out. The Olympics made some drastic changes. I feel like we need like a breaking news thing to come down on our show. Like, breaking news, this just in.
You could play Fitzwell's thing about an important announcement.
Yeah, we have an important announcement to make. So for those of you guys that didn't know, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Here's what's going on. Number 1. Men's and women park has been added into the Olympics now. So the Olympics freestyle is in. They're going to be taking 9 men, 9 women to the 2020 Olympics games. So I think we'd like to talk about that maybe later when Dennis shows up. Hopefully he'll be able to give us some insight on what he thinks about that.
Yep.
I mean, a ton of questions that I have for the guy, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that affects our sport in a positive and a negative. Get kind of his thoughts and see what he wants to talk about. But one big thing that Fitzwell touched on that I think your video really went crazy about, or not your video, the one that you posted from Fitzwell, is they're going to be taking 8 less men to this next Olympics, and 8 more women are going to get to go. There's a whole lot to talk about on this, and I think, number 1, let's get the phone lines open if you guys want to send in any. Can they text that number?
They can text it, they can call it.
If you want to text it, if you want to call it, if we ignore you, leave a voicemail, whatever you want to do. But there's a ton of stuff to talk about this. This drastically affects our sport in a lot of ways. Personally, I don't think a lot of positive ways, but it does affect our sport. And let's just get into it, Sam. I mean, what do you think about it?
I mean, my opinion on it is obviously, I'm engaged to a female BMXer.
Yeah.
So I'm by no means against females racing or riding bikes for that matter. I think they're very talented and they take it very serious and they continue to progress, as do the guys. But I think you've just got to be realistic and look at numbers on a scale basis, and that is that, at a men's World Cup, there's 200 guys that show up, and you could argue that 80 of them are top-notch guys. And at a women's World Cup, maximum they're getting around 60, and you could argue that 20 of them are top notch. So I think that they both have their place to be there, but just scale the numbers correctly, and so that we can put on the best show. Because right now, I mean, you take 24 guys, there's going to be top guys that aren't there, and all of a sudden the Olympics is not, the World Championships might become, I had a text from Luke Medill today asking, is the World Championships going to become more prestigious for a rider because you actually will have beat the best?
Yeah, and I agree 100%. Is the World Championship is going to be where it's at now. The Olympics is going to be, something's going to be taken away from it. Is they're worried about, and the reason that they're doing this is they're putting everything on equality. That's what they're saying. We need to have the equal pay, the equal numbers going to the Olympics, everything like that. The problem is, in my opinion, is everything's not equal. What they're going to do, and this is a big thing that I'm going to stick on, is you're going to come out of the gate, you're going to go down, and you're going to say, we want equal pay, we want equal numbers, but we're not going to ride the same track, okay? We want equal this, but we can't do that. And that's something that I think is a big thing. If you want equality, then it's got to be equal 100% across the board.
Yeah.
Because we look at the Olympics in Rio. You had your world champion first lap on that track, first race, he broke his elbow on the second straightaway. Guys are riding a more difficult track. They have more numbers. They have everything there. But yet, it's saying that it has to be equal. If you want to be equal, you need to be equal.
So Danielle wrote here, women's BMX is growing, but why not equal numbers for the Olympics then? Well, that's the thing. It is growing. I agree with you, but it's not growing to the extent that they have. It's not equal numbers.
But it's not really growing on a World Cup level. We saw close to 200 riders for the men in Papendal.
No, but for women, it's growing. I mean, they started out the first World Cups back in 2009. They probably had 20 or 30, and now they do get 60. So yeah, they are progressing numbers-wise, but they're not progressing numbers-wise anywhere near to what of males that are there.
For sure. And I think the biggest thing that we're trying to put out here across the board, we have no hate against women's racing. What these girls do is phenomenal, and the top girls, they work their butt off. But what I think, and I think we're all against here, is why are you taking away from one deserving group to give more to another? When these guys, they work their butt off, they work real hard, and they're out working as hard as they can, and now you have 8 less men that are ever going to get the opportunity to make their Olympic dream a reality.
I think the thing that's lost as well is that it is still good. It's great that we're going to have 24 of each gender still in the Olympics, because this could all go away before you know it.
Yeah.
And no one wants that. I just think that we also want to take our best product there, and our best product there, I believe, is 32 and 16.
Yeah.
What it's been.
Yeah.
It's worked.
Because that's going to give you the most, that's going to give you the best show. Because those 16 women, they're the 16 best in the world, and they're going to be riding their best. And the men, they have a lot more.
Got a call in.
And we already got our first call in, so we're going to cut to that real quick and hear what they had to say. Hello.
Hi, is this the Cafe Willoughby number, or is this the wrong number?
This is the Cafe Willoughby number. You're on the air.
Sweet. I wanted to say, my live stream's a little bit behind, sorry about that. But, I was going to say about the women's racing, I think anybody has the balls, pretty much, to go down the Supercross hills. I've stood at the top of the London Hill, and I'm a 17-18X who was going to probably turn A pro, but I chose not to do that, I guess. So what I'm saying is that it's pretty much equal till you get to the second straight, obviously. But I think the freestyle thing's cool, but the scene for park is a little too sketchy at some places, I guess.
Okay.
So what's your comment? What do you got for us?
Well, what I'm saying is that has UCI, I mean, everybody on a bike is talented that UCI picked up for the Olympics, the Olympic Committee, but have they looked at some of the park scenes at some places? Because some skate park scenes, they're not the best scenes, I guess.
So you're saying we're going to have some rough riders going to the Olympics? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I'm trying to think here. Can I call back in?
Yeah, man, no worries. Give us a call back in a bit. We're not even talking about the freestyle yet. So maybe when Dennis comes in, and we can talk about that. Give us a call back later.
Gather your thoughts and call us back.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you later. Bye. All right.
Good insight.
So anyway, back to the racing stuff. We just kind of wrote down some notes. One good thing that kind of a stat that I saw David Graff comment on 15 BMX when this whole thing got brought up is he made the comment, 24 men are going. Papendal First World Cup of the year. You had 190 men from, he said, 24 to 26 countries, something like that. Women's side, you had 24 going. You have 41 women show up from 13 countries. And again, we're not trying to take away from the women here, but what it is you are taking from the men that the numbers are just a lot bigger. I know me and Sam, we went through the stats yesterday, and out of the entire world, any rider, an elite class that has a UCI point, we had 161 women have a UCI point, 356 men have points.
Yeah. So I think a good point as well is, I just got a text as well, there's another stat to that is the 24th ranked woman right now is Amanda Geving, who's currently a firefighter that races for a hobby.
Yeah.
The 24th ranked man is Amadou Mia, who is the French national champion right now.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that the men shouldn't be taken away from.
It's just a depth thing.
Yeah, that's all it is, 100%. But what we have to look at is how this is going to affect our sport across the board and have some lasting effects. Because right now you got to look at the men's pro class. Number one, there's not much pay for them to win at the races. Number two, there's not much sponsorship right now. And what a lot of these foreign guys, they depend on their national teams either funding them or paying them salaries or whatever it is. If you're taking spots away from the men now, you're going to have guys that legitimately won't be able to race.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, we did some stats right now. If we were to go to the Olympics today, take the vans for example.
Well, just a little side note. Me and Sam went through. We took the qualifying from the last round of the Olympics. We thought what it was going to be, and we put together. If the Olympics was tomorrow, what some of the national teams would be. We tried to bring as many countries as we could. We looked how many countries they brought last time, and we tried to add to that because that's their whole point of this. And we put together the men and the women's Olympic team across the world.
And we're not going to go through it all because that'll take forever. But some good standouts are like, for example, with the way they're going to format this now, the whole purpose behind this, from what we've heard, is to have more countries at the Olympics. So less riders for the men, more for the women, but in all have more countries represented at the Olympics. And I think another thing as food for thought, and to be devil's advocate here, is we do need to kind of as well play ball and do what the IOC wants as well if we want to keep our sport in. We can't just be like, oh, we're just going to send Nick, Connor, and Corbin, and Nick and Tuan, and all of our top guys and just have a race. That's called the World Champs. But this is just a debate and to try to figure out.
I get that. And
these countries go off world ranking for their criteria, which a lot do.
Yeah.
So Tuan would be out and Jelly would be out. So that's a silver medalist and a finalist from the Olympics. And in the US, Corbin and Connor would go. Our man Nick Long, whole shotter from the last would not go. But on the flip side, Kyle Dodd from South Africa would go.
Indonesia, never heard of, and I'm not saying I know all the riders around the world, but a legitimate guy. Two,
for example, right now the U.S.
this Kondrasik guy, who's the men's rep.
Dennis is here.
And sounds like Dennis is here. Does anybody want to go? You want to go get him? Oh,
just throw him in live right away.
What up, dude? How are you, man? Cruise over. You can cruise over, hang out. We're gonna be chatting.
Hey, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Good, you too.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said the live stream.
We got.
It's back.
What's
now.
up, man? It's good to see you, bud. It's good to see you. Yeah, it looks like we're back now. So we'll be bringing Dennis on in a minute. We want to hear from him here on the freestyle side. We got a few notes to run through. I did hear for word from the UCI that this is more or less something from the IOC. It's not really coming from the UCI directly. But nevertheless, I mean, that's something that's part of the politics that we're going to have to put up with in our sport, being in the Olympics. And that's kind of what we're talking about, is how right or wrong it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, going on here. I think, like we talked about, this is going to severely hurt our sport. Less spots open, less opportunity for a medal, less national team funding, and that's kind of what we talked about earlier. The fact that if there's less men going, like take the Dutch team. We always talk about the Vans, for instance. If they have a 5-rider team, right now 3 of those 5 are going to make it. But now if only 2 do, why should they fund all 5 guys?
Yeah.
So that means that one of our favorite bands is not going to get that salary, and we're not going to be able to go.
I hope it's not Davo.
Well, hopefully not. But the point is they're going to cut 1 or 2 of their guys, and then with how pro sponsorship is and how pro payout is, the opportunity there isn't going to be there, and these guys they're going to have to quit, man. They're going to have to quit to get a job because that's just reality. And then another one that we saw is long term. I know you talked about this a little, Sam. I'll let you touch this on one. Long term, how it's also going to affect sponsorships now that brands can get a freestyle guy, say an X Games rider or something like that. They don't necessarily need a BMX racer now. You know, you kind of talked to potentially.
Yeah,
but
I mean that was kind of our I mean, you'd hope that they would still want both disciplines.
Yeah,
because they can be marketed in different ways and whatever else. But that was kind of the one that was race's new thing. It was like we went to the Olympics. So.
And that's one thing. Say you got Monster that sponsors Connor Fields, right? Obviously, he's a big asset to them. He's their Olympic gold medalist. If things switch up though, and Monster goes into the next round of the Olympics, and they go, "Hey, we want Olympian, but we already pay one of our freestyle guys as he's going to go, so we don't need to pay a racer too because we have a guy who's going to do X Games, do tour, going to do all these big exposure events. He's also going to do the Olympics now, so we don't necessarily need to pay an entire other guy." You know what I mean?
For sure.
Another one was 6-man quarters. We're going to start off the Olympics, the biggest show, the biggest stage on our sport, and now we only have
put a fork in that.
Now we only have 6 riders getting on the gate for the quarterfinals for the men.
Yeah, make it 5.
Yeah, make it 5, just 5-man quarters.
5-man, yeah. Make it 4. Everyone.
Make it 4. Everybody in. Everybody cruises around. And then one thing that I wanted to say, as we kind of talked about this earlier, is if everybody's going to be equal. I want to see the elite men, you elite men. I want to see you guys come out of the turn in Rock Hill at the Worlds, take a left.
Well, I mean, if you want to, I mean, in equality, that's the deal here. I mean, do we just downscale the track, and if we're going to go 24 and 24 and just make it one track and everyone rides? I mean, the chicks are going to ride the same skate park as the dudes at the Olympics.
Yeah, so why not have the same track? And I think it's something that the elite men should stand up, and they should say, no, like, if this is what it's going to be, this is going to be what it's going to be. Even though Rock Hill is a bit of an exception because that second straightaway pro side is probably easier to get to than the amateur side. But the point is like, if that's how it's going to be, make the tracks easier, make them flatter, and everybody rides the same track. And that way, you're going to be able to put these races in maybe indoor arenas, in things like that, because you're not needing to build 6 straightaways on a track.
Someone in here wrote, maybe Barry Nobles could get a medal in freestyle. Well, here's the deal with that. Barry Nobles would have no chance of getting a medal in freestyle. Like, if we're being honest,
and nothing against Barry.
He's really talented, but he's not on the level of Dennison. And Dennis, sorry. But then But for example, if you're going to take 9 chicks in freestyle, only one US girl is going to go because there's going to be 9 countries. So, so yes, there are many US girls that are talented in freestyle, but only one of them is going to go. Yeah. And then they're going to be competing against who?
I don't know. I think we kind of we tried to look up some World Cup stats. I think there was 12 girls at one World Cup, 3 at the next.
So potentially someone like Caroline or Lauren, they could just go, well, I can do an X-up.
You can do an X-up, and if you learn a backflip, then you're in.
But for a guy, a guy can't double in both. Like,
no.
Dennis isn't going to come race, and Nick's not going to be able to compete against him in freestyle.
No way. The levels are too high in each one of those fields that it's literally not going to be possible. You have to put too much effort in one side or the other. Too much effort into racing or too much effort into freestyle. It's not going to be possible for one dude to get both. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. We kind of talked about how classes are growing, and we're on our 3 Olympics have happened, and we still haven't seen the numbers grow that much in the women's start catching up to the men to equal this equality. I think we kind of already talked about that a little bit. I
think they've both risen. It's definitely helped
for sure, but it's like this, not even.
And there's nothing wrong growing, which is good. But unfortunately, riding bikes is always going to be a male-dominant sport. It's just the way it is. But if they're equaled out, then they can't be equaled out.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's what the talk is it's offsides equality. You're asking for certain things to be equal, certain things to not be, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't do the math. So I think should we give Dennis his intro and have him jump on in? So we want to hear from this guy. Is one of the best dudes in the world when it comes to 2 wheels. The guy furthermore has a racing background. I used to race them around here when I was super young and ride at his pump track in the backyard and stuff like that when he was a racer. Switched to freestyle, and now the guy's big time, got all kinds of Olympic medals, everything like that. So we're going to play
Olympic medals?
I mean, X Games medals. Sorry, we're talking about the Olympics. He might. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. He'll see how it goes. So we're going to play Dennis's intro, get him in here, and have a chat with him. So you guys check out him so you get a little more insight on him, and then we'll bring him on. Awesome.
Good seeing you, bro. Is it cool if I come over tomorrow?
All right, guys, so we got the man that you just watched on screen right now. This dude absolutely kills everything on two bikes. The reason that I like bringing him on is he also has a racing background. He knows a little bit about the racing scene as a San Diego racer himself. So, Dennis, you want to say hi to everybody?
What's up, everyone? Stoked to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to have you here, and we just wanted to get you on board and kind of hear what your thoughts are. What do you think, man? Freestyle in the Olympics?
Yeah, I just heard, I think it was like 2 mornings ago, and I don't know, it's crazy. Freestyle's pretty unorganized compared to your guys' sport. Like, we don't have, it's going to take a lot of organizing, I think, to get this thing like together. And like you were saying, like there needs to be a women's group and a men's group. And I don't know, I'm excited to see how everything plays out. It's going to like be a lot more contests for us, I think. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
So you think more contests are going to be happening because of this?
I think so for sure, because we have a couple series right now, but the main ones are fees and the Vans contest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure which one of those is going to be like the qualifier for the Olympics. So they're going to have to figure those out. And there's going to have to be qualifying for those. And I think it's just going to lead to a lot more contests for us.
Oh, that's good.
Which, yeah, I think that's going to be good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Sam, you want to hit him with the first question?
Where are we up to here?
I don't know. Well, we'll just kind of
keep sponsorship move as well.
Yeah. So one. I think one of the biggest things is now that Freestyle's in. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. We have so many questions for you to ask. Do you guys understand? Does Freestyle understand what the baggage that comes with being in the Olympics?
Some of the guys might, but I honestly don't.
So to give you some insight, this does mean World Cup events. So there is going to have to be a series of World Cup events like the fives.
Which is their fives, I think.
But there'll be more of them like the fives. You're going to have a handful. This it means it's out your everyday whereabouts, so they know where to find you every single day for your drug testing. But no, this is real. Like you're gonna have to go through drug testing, and then you're gonna. But but there's a lot that goes with it. There's some really cool stuff. You guys are gonna get to put your.
It sounds shitty.
You guys are gonna get to put your sport on a stage that's never been done before.
That's cool.
But there's a lot that goes with it that's behind the scenes. Do you think a lot of the guys really are fully aware of what's going to be going on?
No, like you just told me a bunch of stuff I had no clue about.
Yeah,
I think everyone's probably on the same page as me. Like we are, like I said, we're so unorganized, like missing practices and stuff like that. Like it's going to be a whole game-changing thing.
Yeah.
Would it be something that you guys just wouldn't even really think about until 2020? Like you'd just be like, we're just going to keep doing our thing, and then 2020 we might go, oh yeah, cool, for 6 months we'll abide by the rules and do whatever you want.
It's hard to say because like I said, I only was informed this like 2 days ago. I got an email and I was like, oh, cool. Like there was lots of talk about it and everything, and then it was just official one day, and it's like, whoa, like, okay, so they're going to really have to figure all this stuff out, and I'm not sure. Whatever, I'm excited for it, so whatever we have to do it, like, I'm excited to figure it out.
You'd obviously want to go, like you
I'd be stoked to do it, something to focus on.
Do what you want to do, what you need to do to go, basically,
Yeah, no, it's cool seeing you guys, like you have all those years leading up to it. It's just something really, like you get to do all your other races and everything, but it's like, main focus, which is really cool. Like everyone, it's good to win all the other races, but like the Olympics is like the one,
the pinnacle.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Everything kind of leads up to that. I think that's going to be really fun too.
Yeah. One big question that we had is your sport's a little bit different in ours in the respect that like BMX racing, we're searching for the mainstream. Like we're trying to get to a level that you guys are. Okay. And Olympics has kind of always been like our shot at reaching that mainstream. You guys, a lot of you guys have the sponsorship, you have the TV time, you have the big events, you have all these things. And considering they're only taking 9 riders, that doesn't mean like 4 USA guys. That means 1 from USA, 1 from this country, 1 from this country. Is it going to be worth it for these guys to focus on that and potentially change a lot of their lifestyle and the way that they live and do things just to have a crack at one spot?
Well, thanks for all the compliments for Freestyle, first off.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it seems like you guys have a bunch going on too, like from my ignorance towards racing right now, because I quit when I was 13 expert. Like I watch you guys and it seems like everything you guys are doing is really legit.
It's all fake. We want to be like you.
Know that.
Yeah.
Fake news.
I think like the top guys, because there's going to be like your Logan Martins and your Kyle Baldocks and your Nick Bruce, like the really like elite top guys that are going to focus on it. And then there'll probably be a lot of other people like acting like they're going for it, you know?
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah, but then I don't see, like, for those guys, I don't think it's going to be worth it because there's so much other things in BMX you can focus on with video parts and jams and just social media. Like, you don't need to, you're not going to have to be in the Olympics to make a career for yourself or a name for yourself. But I think the main guys who really have a chance should go for it because there's going to be huge corporate sponsors and it's going to be a fun chase. Like, it's going to be a huge, and like you said, it's just going to show BMX in front of more people than I think I've ever seen it.
Now, being that the park and everything and that side of BMX is so raw and real, and would you guys be seen as your peer group, or maybe like just the general public, if you decide to start skipping stuff and you're wearing your Team USA uniform and all that kind of stuff? Is there that potential to be considered a sellout? Like, oh man, you've gone corporate. Like,
I think haters are always going to hate, you know, and then the real fans are going to know what's going on. Like,
my man, I like that. That's good words right there.
You know, you could riding for an energy drink. You got the same problems. People are going to say what they're going to say, and then the other people are going to be like, well, you know, it's like it's helping them and helping them do what they love. And so I think, haters are always going to hate. But the people really going for it, they're going to get respect. Like, why not? You know, something.
Oh, for sure.
Something amazing. They're going to push BMX is in the best way they can. So why not give them respect? Like, it'd be pretty lame to not be stoked on someone like chasing something like the Olympics.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? I mean, the topic of the night's been the numbers thing. I mean, obviously, guys freestyle there's probably 100 guys around the world that are top notch, maybe more.
Yeah.
So backstory, it's been equality, talking about how they just lowered the Olympics for men. We had 32 men and 16 women.
Okay.
They just took 8 spots away from the men and added 8 to the women. And so that's been kind of our debate thus far.
For racing?
For racing. So they went here to bring it equal.
So how many guys were there?
There were 32. Now there's only 24.
And there were 16. Now there's 24 and 24.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, like, for park, for example, there's 9 guys that get to go, but that's going to be 9 guys from 9 countries. So if you're the guy, you'll be the one guy from the US, so you make it. And then they'll have to find 8 other guys from 8 other countries. So you're not necessarily going to just have the best 9 guys from the US go.
Or the best 9 guys in the world.
So you guys are saying that's too small.
So, like, should the guys have 20 guys and maybe the girls have 15 or something, you know?
I mean, the more the better.
Yeah,
the more they can put in, the better, obviously.
Right.
But what's the female side of it in general? That's what we're asking. How competitive is that? Should the numbers be?
I heard you guys talking about that when I first came in, and I think the girls' side of BMX was really small up until maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and they've really come together, and they've been going to all the contests, and they don't have their own contests, but they'll go and do demos and jams. And there actually is some talented girls out there, and they're really working hard to get something together, and they're actually really organized, and you know, they do everything together, and I respect they'll travel to these contests just to do a demo, just to show we have girl freestyle.
Rad. So they're going when you guys go and you guys have a big contest, say at FIs.
Yeah.
Did they have their own competition, or was it more just a ladies demo?
All the FIs ones, FIs. I'm not sure.
I don't know how to say it either.
FIs or FIs. Yeah, they have their own contest now at all of them, and then at all the Vans Pro Skate Park tours, they have a demo at all of them now.
Okay.
And I think the last one in Mexico, actually, they put the girls with the guys and judged them together. They did.
That's rad. I think that's something. If you guys are gonna if everybody's wanting equality and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's man, yeah, it's rough.
But I respect the girls for having a crack.
Exactly. No,
you know what I mean? Jump in and go.
They said fuck it, and they're doing it.
Hey, this is our class. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. They put everyone together, but like I was saying, I think there is going to be enough girls, and you know, the gym I go to, there's a girl from San Diego, and she's in there more than me, focusing, and it's I think, you know, there's going to be more talented girls out there than you guys think, and it's going to be huge for them too, because they don't even have contests right now. There's I think just fees. That's it. So,
okay.
So this is going to be awesome for
them.
But
even with them as well, you say there is a bunch of talented girls, only one of them is going to get to go from the US.
No, that's crazy.
So
I agree. There should be, you know, the more chances, the better. That's a crazy little number. I didn't know that until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how it all will work is if there's 9, they're not going to take the 9 best in the world. They're going to figure out a qualification system like we put together our own BMX Olympic team right here, and we have your silver medalist from the last Olympics. If the Olympics would be tomorrow, he wouldn't make it. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily
Why is that? Because there's the first place guy was from the Netherlands too?
Yeah, because how it qualifies, only 2 from his country get to go. He right now is sitting 3rd for his country.
So what we're saying, would it be better if, you know, there's 9 chicks that get to go, but the US, because they're the best in the world at freestyle for women's, 3 of them should get to go. You know?
No, okay. So if so there's a tour and say that the top
Just the way
5
it's
girls
scaled,
are all
yeah.
U.S. and then only that one, and then the next girl's from Australia to be the first place girl from America, then the next one's the Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any.
You're not gonna. Yeah.
dynamics.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that. That's
So
crazy.
then, like for freestyle, I guess that asks the question: Does it become not even prestigious for a freestyler because you guys are going to be like, oh, cool, Dennison went and he won, but this guy wasn't there, that guy wasn't there, this guy wasn't there, like.
Yeah, like Logan Martin and Kyle Bulldog, they're both from Australia, and like it's hard to say who's better. You know, one will beat one at one contest, and the other will beat the other, and like and then there's so many other good Australians and good Americans and and good people from everywhere. That's crazy.
Yeah, so just one of those dudes, like one USA guy. You can think
That
of how many
discredits the whole thing to me. Like doing that,
it makes it tough for
sure.
sure.
It eliminates, like you said, it could be the second, third, and fourth best person,
or
however many.
And that's where like the whole like sellout
get
thing comes. Like, man, you didn't win the hardest competition. You just won. You won the Olympics. You went
you
that
got
route.
in there,
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got in that route, and then you're there, and you just because the reality is freestyle has one of the best rates of getting a medal out of anything. If you make it, you have a 33% chance of getting an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
9 people going. 3 of them walking away with the medal.
That's a really small amount of people.
Yeah, that really is, and that's one thing that we kind of put some notes down. So how cycling works and a lot of stuff like that is a lot of these countries support their Olympic riders. You guys have, and that's one fear that me and Sam were talking about is you guys have a 33% chance of medaling. Is if this comes from a USA cycling budget, a lot of that budget could potentially be pulled away towards you guys in the respect that like we're just making sure that he does well. Shot at a medal, their budget's pretty small. BMX just got a gold and a silver last time around, so our budget went up because we got a good shot at getting another medal. You guys, you got a 33% chance right off the bat. If one of our dudes makes it, he's got a third chance of making it, getting a medal. So there's a lot that kind of goes into the Olympics other than just like rad our sports in the Olympics.
Yeah, no, you're filling me with so much information that I didn't even know about.
Stuff that we didn't know about though. We didn't know about
and
this.
there's things like who's going to be the first guy to get 2020 in the Olympic rings tattooed.
Not me.
Was that a comment on there?
That was from Lindsay.
That was a hell of a comment.
Yeah,
you guys are going to see all of it. Because any racer has that. Yeah. I think everyone here probably has the Olympic tattoo on them somewhere. Nick's got it.
I got 2 of them.
I
I didn't get before, though. I didn't get before.
It has been done 4 years out.
It has.
It's been done by people that don't have a remote shot at going.
I'm just stoked.
I'm gonna go to the Olympics, bro. Yeah, they're Nick's long shots. Like guys are like, I might go to the Olympics and like sit in the grandstands. Does that count? Can I get the tattoo? I'm gonna watch the Olympics on TV. Let's see. So what other questions do we have? Here's one. Will the new Olympic Training Center be at Sheep Hills?
No, it's dirt.
That's dirt. Yeah, fair enough.
Hopefully we get a skate park down there though.
Hopefully, what we were talking about is how cool it would be to have one here at the Olympic Training Center here in Chula Vista.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be rad because we already have BMX race there, so it'd be rad if they figured something out. And that could be like the mecca of action sports for the Olympics because like skateboarding's in and stuff like that. So you could have a legit park there. You could have racing there.
Yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, I wonder if they're going to build something cool right down there, because I'm from San Diego, so that'd be cool
rad.
for me, regardless of being in the Olympics or not, another park to ride.
Could you imagine a legit facility just like, what are you, a half hour away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
15 miles away or
That'd
something.
be rad. So, any other insight that you kind of want to add about this? I mean, we're super. Just like you might not know a lot about racing. We don't know a lot about freestyle. We obviously watch guys like yourself go out and kill it, but we're not in those competitions day to day. Anything you kind of want to add and stuff like that?
Like I said, the last time I raced was Del Mar National 13 Expert. And I just realized
heck of a race.
I was like, made it to semis or something. I was like, man, I just can't hang anymore. And I just.
So that's a good question, though. Like, what was your reason? Because you were a legit expert, like you. Because
it was super fun going to all the tracks, but it was just like, you guys are winning. I wasn't winning. I was like fighting to get in the mains and then, like 4th place. Like it would have been fun to be winning. All I liked really at the end was just riding the new tracks and going to different nationals and state races and all that. And then I found dirt jumping and street and skate parks, and I was like, well, that's pretty much the same thing. I just don't have to bruise my ego.
Bruise everything on your body instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, you absolutely
Donovan was training me too hard.
We'll blame it on Big Don. Blame it on Big Don.
You ruined it for me.
Way to go, too much pressure, Big Don. Cut the guy some slack, he could still be racing right now, making $1,000 for a win.
No, it was a blast. It was just Cactus Park and Kearney were never changing their tracks, so I wasn't racing any local races.
Still the same track, actually.
Yeah, I know. And then going to nationals, I was like, I wasn't racing enough, so it was just like kind of like a downhill slope for
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. You've been reading the comments, Sam. You got anything good coming in the
Yeah, I
comments?
mean, there's one from G. Coach G wants to know, how long would a park run be at the Olympics?
I think it'd probably be a minute.
A minute?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I
Normally
think
the Vans ones are 45 seconds to a minute. You got to stay somewhere in there, and then I think fees is a minute.
Okay, because I spoke to Wade yesterday, and he spoke to someone at the UCI that said that it would be 3 1-minute runs, and they'd take your best, like your average score. So it wouldn't be like just one banger.
It could be like that. Dew Tour was like the most official, well-organized contest series we ever had since my whole career and everything, and that's how it was 3 runs, and then took your best 2 and averaged them together.
Okay,
that's how they did it. And I think that works the best. It's like really shows who's riding the best.
Yeah.
What are the contests scene like right at the moment? Are you guys seeing, like, I know in racing we're declined, like we don't have as many races going on. How are you guys? How's the freestyle industry going? BMX race is like really kind of struggling at the moment. How's the freestyle scene?
Dew Tour went away, and that was kind of like, oh man, like
that was a big one, right?
Yeah, that was like the big tour series thing we had. And then I always knew, though, I was like, with something going away, something else good is going to come. And everyone else was like, oh, BMX is going to die or whatever. And then there was like 1 year with not that much stuff, but everyone kind of came together. And there was like grassroots stuff like Texas Toast and all these jams all over. And it was like one of the busiest summers of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the next year they started the Vans Pro Cup skate park series thing. So it was like, for me, I'm still just as busy as ever.
Cool.
I think maybe for the street guys, Dirt's the one. I think street and park right now is killing it, like always. But sucks for the dirt guys because mountain bike slopestyle kind of got huge, and I think that might have like.
Did that even pull some guys away to it? Like,
yeah,
see, like Nyquist and stuff, because kind of went over there.
Yeah, and I think the slopestyle mountain biking stuff is amazing.
It's insane.
I understand why it kind of took out dirt.
But we all love some BMX dirt.
Yeah, of course. But they pretty much are doing the same thing, bigger courses, and just really dialed. So.
Speaking of that, do you think Nyquist will come back to try to qualify for the Olympic team?
Hell yeah.
You think he'll be 41 doing triple trucks over the last jump, going for it?
I bet you Nyquist read that email and was like, yes,
what a legend. I'm back. I'm going.
He didn't go anywhere. He's just killing it in mountain biking and BMX. That guy is so on it
That guy's the man. I remember when I was young watching him, like, this guy's insane, and he's still doing it. He gives me motivation to keep getting on the gate and getting smoked weekend in and weekend out. You know?
Yeah, he was just in Malaga, Spain, like a month ago, and he was just sending stuff, and then the contest before in Australia, he was sending 900s out of like this huge pool coping bowl. Like
Isn't he 38 years old? I think
he doesn't seem like it. Whatever it is.
My mom.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was talking.
He's the man. He's like seems like he's like 24 or something. You know, like.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Jamie Staff about it today, and he said he's 38 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend.
So he'll be like 40, 41.
To try at least. You know, he'd probably be the Olympic American rider too.
Yeah.
Put more work in.
Because he is kind of that more like a little bit more corporate side. He's older. He has a family, so it's a different style that he would kind of fit right in with that kind of really structured program.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think
you know what
really
I mean?
Like all that. Like
yeah,
he'll tuck his shirt in.
He'll tuck his shirt in.
So Far Fridays.
Yeah.
Now that you got kind of a little bit more insight on what the Olympics is like and stuff, kind of what are your thoughts? I mean, how do you feel about knowing that you're going to have to fill out your USADA whereabouts and every day they're going to have the potential to come and drug test you at some point?
Yeah, sounds crazy.
They look at your penis.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
you got to pull your pants down to your knees, shirt up. You got to hold it up. And you got to have some.
Try this for like 3 months and just be like, fuck this.
You got to have Frank just come in and just take a peek while you're peeing.
I think it's really cool, but me personally, like, I don't really care. Like, I don't Olympic gold medal or no Olympics. I'm like, whatever. Like,
you're gonna keep riding.
Yeah, like it's all gonna be the same. But if I can go through with this and looking at my dick for the drug testing isn't too weird and all of it like does just work out, then like I'm super stoked. But if there's a day where I'm just like, if I get over something, I'll get over it, and I'll just be like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of just our biggest question is we know that we all we as racers, I think, might be a little bit more structured to begin with, and I know it's always a big culture shock for everybody when you kind of do get in that. You get the first email like, I need to do what? I need to do drug classes to make sure that I know how to fill out this whereabouts, and I got to email them and tell them where I'm going to be every day, and our number plates on our back are the wrong size, and so I'm getting Elise got to try to get a $10,000 fine because she was the national champion and didn't have the proper sleeve on her jersey.
Wow.
I think it's
pretty strict,
but chat room's kind of like stereotyping, yada. But snowboarders are a competition.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful.
So it's like little things like that are more of a pain in the ass. I'd say.
Like you
got to look into every little thing that you drink now, and this.
Yeah, like you gotta legit like look at like your cold medication and go, oh, would this pass a drug test or not? Oh no, I'm just gonna have to be sick and deal with it.
Yeah, it's like I said, like I think it sounds crazy, but if you're actually gonna focus on it and do it, like it's not that
doable.
many rules.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
So cool. Like,
and that's why we wanted you on here, because I think a lot of racers, just like, I mean, they do might stereotype it, and that's what's cool to have you on, is we do get to hear your side of it and go like, yeah, screw it, if that's what it takes, like if you guys can do it, if snowboarding can do it, like we can do it too.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty right in the middle. Like you got the guys who are gonna be like, fuck this 100%, like BMX is BMX and we don't want it in the Olympics, and there's a whole other side of BMX that's like super down with it, and like I'm pretty in the middle, so I kind of see, I obviously like it, but I see both sides and where people are at with it, but I think it's just going to be good. No matter what, it's going to be something fun for people to focus on, and if you don't like it, then you still can do whatever you want. Like there's still skate parks all over. So
for sure, and that's what's rad. And that's what's rad is you got any other good questions in there, Sam?
Nah, G just says we're scaring him.
We're scaring G?
No, we're scaring him.
No. It's just kind of like, hey, this is what's going on. But we wanted to be real, and we wanted to hear your side of it.
Because I have heard that from people, like there's all the crazy rules. It's cool to hear from you guys. Like it really is all that stuff. Like
yeah, there is. But on the flip side of it is that might be the pain of it. But there is some really cool stuff. And,
exactly.
I mean, I personally never made it to the Olympics. I've had a crack at a couple of them and came close, and it was rad. And this guy walked away with a medal. So was it worth it?
Yeah, and like we said, it's, you can hype it up how you want, but it's really not that bad. Like you said, you just adjust like anything. I mean,
have fun with
your contests change as you go over the years, and everyone moves forward with it. And if you want to do it, you'll do it. If you don't, you don't. And
I'm sure you guys go to a contest and there's a judge that pisses you off.
That's a question I had. Like I always thought that would be. I always ask surfers and freestyle riders if I ever meet them, is like, how do you mentally deal with that, knowing that your destiny is...
That's a good question, because someone else emailed me today, like, how do you think for like Ride UK or something about the Olympics, and I said that it's weird because I think the hardest thing is going to be to find the best judges, the most fair best judges, because there can be a contest one weekend, and then say there's a contest the next weekend with 4 different judges, everyone does the same exact run, and the top 10 can be completely switched up. So I think they need to, aside from like, find the best riders will be easy, aside from this weird thing you guys were telling me about one country going in or whatever. But I think the judges is going to be a little more complicated. Make or break. They're going to have to really find the best judges that are fair, because there's some contests that you're just like, well, that was really great results, but whatever. Like it's a judge sport, so.
But now
you just go in knowing that and just move on.
Exactly.
Like whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Some contests, like I feel like, wow, they judged me so good, and then some you're just like, what the fuck did? I killed it, I thought.
Yeah.
And do you find them judging you? Maybe I know this is something when I used to go to a little bit more of them. Is they judge you on you rather than you on the rest of the field?
Totally.
You know what I mean? They're like, well, Dennis, we knew that you had more of a banger run. You could have done better. We're going to give you this score.
Yeah, I think so.
Instead of like your run on a scale of everybody else, your run may have been up here, but for you personally, it was only down here.
Yeah, I think. And that's unfair judging. You should just judge on the contest, like a good judge shouldn't do that. But sometimes you get, not every contest has all the best judges. Sometimes they can't get everyone in, and there's just some new guys in there that don't usually judge contests, and you get weird results sometimes. That's why for this Olympics, if you really are trying to find the 9 best riders, it's going to have to be judged fair.
Across the board on all your World
Cups.
Cups.
Not like you guys who cross that finish line first. It's like, it's 100% who got first and who got second. Like
and that's, I think, one thing that's different about our sport just in general is it's got to be difficult when you guys are going up. Is you have a super good mentality. It's like you guys like, hey, I know that I'm going to make money from my sponsors and everything like that. We really survive on the payout side of things. You're like, well, cool. If I did good this weekend, that's rad. If not, whatever.
Yeah,
and
a little more stress free on the contest side.
Yeah,
because of that reason.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Me and Chad were talking earlier today too, because I told him I was going to come on the show, Chad Curley, and he was like, he didn't even really know. He's like, what, BMX is going to be in the Olympics? And he's like, that's crazy. He's because he was just he was like, racing makes so much sense, but he said the same thing. He's like, it's going to be like, how do you judge it? Like,
but I guess like gymnastics and diving are judged.
That's what I told him. I was like, there's a bunch of judge sports, so you just got to find the right judges, and they'll probably have to make maybe a point scale or something, like style, tricks, height. It's going to have to be very calculated.
Right. And for you guys, you'd hope that it would be at the World Cup events or whatever the qualifying events, it's the same judges.
Yeah, it would have to be.
So you guys know what you Yeah.
And do you see, like we noticed, like X Games when it was in Austin, it was a real different style of X Games for Park. Like when Chase Hawk got the win, because usually X Game is all about like who can do the quadruple backflip tail whip. As where that was
course
definitely
didn't even have a box jump, and it was just like literally like a bunch of 7 to like 10 foot quarters, and like
it seems like you were getting to
what style of Park is more about flow.
What would you want to see?
I like them both. Like I said, whatever. Like I respect both sides of it. You know, I'd like something in the middle. You know, somewhere kind of with everything.
I think that would fit your best style too, because you have the big bangers, but you have kind of that flow and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be for myself. That's what would work the best.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
something in the middle, kind of. But
do you see any of your racer background? Speaking of you being a racer and early and stuff, do you see that helping you in where you're at now?
For sure, yeah. 7 through 13, that was my life, was just racing, and then like slowly kind of found freestyle through that. Like all I knew was Cactus and Kearney, you know, the first few years of my BMX life, and then met friends jumping and stuff, and totally like just the amount of it's just I wasn't learning any tricks. All I was doing was riding and getting better at riding my bike, you know. Kids just show up at the skate park and just start throwing bar spins and just like they don't even know how to pump a roller.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing too. Is like you go out to the racetrack and there's you have a handful of like legit kids that can do like the pro section and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You go out to the skate park, there's like random Johnny that's pulling the biggest tricks that you don't even know.
Yeah, there's a kid who they can do bunny hop tail whips and send them through that pro section. They're gonna kill themselves.
Yeah,
that's what I always tell kids when they want. They're like, "How do I get more like skills?" I'm like, "Go to the racetrack, start racing. That's the best way. If you really,
that's cool.
That's really how you can gain the most bike skills, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because no one's gonna have a pump track or anything. You just go to the racetrack. It's got a little bit of everything.
For
Jumping, pumping.
Do you think, I've got a lot of questions in the chat room, like with freestyle in the Olympics, like our sport went through a really steep learning curve. Like all of a sudden we had masseuses at races, we had physios, like
once it got into the Olympics.
Yeah, like it's
like one night to the next.
Like one night to the next. It's like physios showed up, everyone's doing this with their bike, that with their bike. I mean, there's some sarcastic questions in there, like are people going to ride with belt drives and disc brakes? But do you think your sport will change because of the Olympic carrot, or do you think that because you guys...
I think it's going to get a lot more official.
Yeah,
like I said, BMX is kind of a little unorganized in the contest side.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Dew Tour was like the only thing that I seen that was like really legit and organized until this Van Skate Park series, but it's still kind of a wild mess, you know.
Right. Because I know with snowboarding, like in Australia, they're doing all this stuff now, like with snowboarders that were a pretty similar sort of discipline. With halfpipe guys, they're doing all these like studies on aerial awareness and like just...
There's going to be money behind it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there will be, you know, especially they build this skate park down at the training center, and then there'll be coaches. Like, there's going to be people throwing a bunch of money into it. Like, yeah, I think it's going to change it. Yeah, it's going to be. And I'm just thinking of like the contest organizers once they got that email, like what's in their mind, like they want their contest.
It's
to be
good
the
in a
best
way.
It
creates jobs in the industry, and
that was the main thing I thought. More contests and more people being psyched, and like more opportunity for all this.
Yeah.
My concern from a racer standpoint is racing always had. We always kind of ride your guys' coattails in the respect that, like, when we're on an airplane and somebody goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, "Oh, I'm a BMX pro." "Oh, you do the backflips." You know,
it's funny because they always think I race.
Really?
I swear to God, yeah. They're always like, "Oh, you do like the Olympics?" Like,
no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny because I don't think I've ever got like, "Oh, you race," and somebody actually knows.
That's weird. You probably just don't like hear it when they say that, but I always get the opposite thing, like, "Oh, so you race?"
That's funny. That's funny.
But
so our concern is like,
thing.
no, actually the flips. You know where you go upside down. So we like. BMX racing, like we finally had one thing that stood us apart as far as like, okay, BMX racing is in the Olympics. You guys have X Games, you have the Dew Tour, you have the TV, you have everything else. We finally had one, and now for racing, that's going to be kind of shadowed a little bit. Do you think that freestyle is going to kind of take over a little bit of racing's limelight, that maybe it finally had its one kind of niche thing, and now we're going to kind of be like your guys' step sister again that's kind of pushing it back?
I hope not. I hope it works together. Like, you know, it should push each other, because even when like racing was in the Olympics, I mean the X Games, remember when it was like downhill, like almost like dirt jumps?
That was rad.
Like everyone thought that was awesome. I don't know why that went away.
Yeah, we got booted, man.
It was just like it was like a couple year thing, but like I don't feel like park or dirt overshadowed that. I think it was just another cool side of BMX. You know, it's just
for sure.
Like, yeah, I don't think it should do that. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I agree.
Because people think, you know, there's people who think racing is a lot cooler, and there's people who think BMX freestyle is a lot cooler. So they just get to pick which one they want to watch or watch them all.
And
if they really like BMX, they should watch them all.
And hopefully it just bring more awareness to the sport across the board,
exactly,
and get more kids on a bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if they do build, like, I think it'll because tracks and skate parks are usually so separated. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
track on one end of town, you got the skate park on the other end, and if we're all hanging out, if it does become like the Mecca over here, hopefully that's the case. Where if they build the park by your guys' training center, then everyone will be hanging out all the time and kind
That's
of
what I want,
sharing
man.
ideas and.
Yeah, I think there needs to be more crossover. Like I remember when I was younger,
I don't think enough kids race. Like,
everybody rode everything though. You know what I mean? Like I don't know about you, you're a little bit younger than I am, but like I rode
trails.
Yeah, I rode trails. I rode the skate park. Well, not skate park much. I was more of a dirt guy. I rode trails. I rode the race bike. Everything. And now it's kind of like kids more so do one or the other. You know? How many kids do you know at the skate park come to the racetrack?
It's rare.
Yeah.
And there's kids that go to they're full on diehard BMXers, and I got nothing against it. And they grew up 4 pegs, no brakes, low PSI, and like they're shredding what they're doing. But I'm like, you never got to a racetrack. You don't even a quarter. It's like there's so much more, you know. And same with kids that just have no pegs and gyro and like these little teeny scooter bikes. Like they've never been to a racetrack or grinded the ledge. It's like,
and I see the opposite.
There's
you know,
so much cool stuff to try. You know, like you got to try it all.
I see kids that fully come in clipped in and in full race mode. That's like you have so much of your bike that you've never explored. You know,
like kids who never left the track.
Yeah, that's rad that you have a carbon fiber race.
Yeah, those kids could learn from the mentality of freestyle, like the creativity and the freedom and. You know, all that stuff that's kind of gone away from BMX a bit since the whole Olympic thing. Everyone's so structured and down the line. And so
I like that this is twisted.
I think we could draw. I think racers could draw from that, and then probably freestyle guys could draw from some of the structure and the discipline of racing, I guess. But
kind of what we're doing right now, just 3 dudes just sitting in, learning from each other. You know,
there's some coach. I don't know how legit he is or not, but he seems pretty legit. He takes his kids that he trains. He trains them at Chula Vista, I'm pretty sure. He's probably like in his 40s, and he takes them to the OB skate park.
Yeah.
Like he has a couple girls under his wing, and they're just like teaching him how to jump. What's his name?
Anthony Bird?
Maybe. I'm not sure his name, but I see him there like.
That's the only one I can think of.
Every once in a while, he has him like hit, like you need to learn how to hit the hips, and like he'll film me and be like, hey, show her how to hit the hip, you know, like just.
There you go.
I'm like, that's cool, like random bike skills that would make you faster, you know, if you can just like.
For sure.
Maneuver your bike over because. Not all just rollers, you know, they're different weird jumps.
That's why we built a pump track at the training center, because kids were just so focused on going fast, they didn't know how to hit jumps or just flow on their bike, you know? Yeah. Cool, man. Well, Sam, you got any other questions?
Together.
No, thank you.
Shadow each other.
Yeah, exactly.
A few questions on the feed you need to ask.
What do you got
Lindsay,
for us?
Paul? Sylvan's got some good ones.
Well, hit us with a question. It's hard to see. Read them all.
Sylvan
the camera
got one that says,
right in front of you.
Oh, there.
I'm going to quote Sylvan, and he says, long post between runs?
Long post between.
So racers are known in between their laps to put these really long seat posts in our recovery posts.
And
You're like, oh yeah.
I changed it. I said, what Sylvan said. Big post or cold beers for cool down.
So which one are you gonna be cooling down with? You guys gonna be hitting a cold beer for the cool down, or changing out your little post and putting a big long one and going for some pedals on your 23.9?
Freestyle dudes, like I said, they're on both ends, and like at these contests I go to, you have people going back to the hotel and hitting the bong between finals and prelims, or smoking cigarettes. There's a couple dudes that drink like.
How good would that be at the Olympics? There's just some dudes smoking.
These guys are so good, but they're not going to be able to do this. Like it sucks. Like there's some Australians that just like they're not going to be able to get their shit together.
What's Watts going to do?
Watts is going to be drinking Jack Daniels watching.
Jack.
Like
drinking Jack watching.
But
hell of a show, boys.
I guess you can. They're not testing for alcohol.
No, they do.
Oh, they do?
They do? Yeah.
That is not an enhancing.
What, you kind of
definitely not enhancing.
you kind of have alcohol in your system?
No.
I think
I drank a beer in drug testing to
Oh,
piss.
you can have a beer, but you can't be like.
Over
I think
the
it's a
limit?
safety
It's
thing.
like weed. You can't have a certain amount. Like weed, you pretty much have to smoke till you're dead.
Yeah.
Not pass the drug test these days. It used to be different.
Okay, good to know. See, I didn't know all this. Nick's got all the. Nick's one of the. He's one of the most highest tested cyclists.
I am the highest tested cycling athlete in all of.
Even more than Lance
Really?
Armstrong?
More than Lance.
Way more than Lance.
So
last time it was checked, Lance was 29 times tested in his whole career. I was at 44, and I'm still racing.
So Nick's the high. What a record! Nick is the highest tested.
Record.
Nick is the highest tested athlete.
Nick Long is the man.
It's the tattoos.
Yeah.
The tattoos.
It's fucking racist.
Man.
Stereotype.
Sylvan says.
Because he's from Lakeside.
What?
He's from Lakeside. He's on drugs.
Yeah, you're gonna get some lycra so you can do more tail whips.
What is Lycra?
Road bike pants.
Because that almost came into race and then they axed it.
Yeah, that almost did. There was
You can't wear
Or
shorts.
guys rocked up in skin suits. And then they said,
man.
no, we're not going to go there. You can't. It has to.
Then they made rules that you have to have a visor. You have to be able to grab your jersey and like pinch an inch off of it.
Off air resistance. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Any other good ones?
People might get pretty serious about it, but I think they're gonna keep it. The serious guys are already serious. Like they're riding scooter bikes to get more tricks in. Like
for sure.
They're riding bikes that don't feel good just to get an extra tail.
Yeah, and that's a good question because I remember at Interbike I was checking out one of the dude's bikes. His bike weighed less than mine.
Yeah, there's some weird bikes that like they're sacrificing like the feel of like a nice bike to rip around.
Just to go for a quad tail.
Yeah, you jump in the air and you're like, it just feels like shit. But then you just start whipping it around and do whatever trick you want because it weighs 4 pounds.
What's your setup?
My setup's pretty just in the middle, just straight up BMX bike.
Like you like it's good to ride, but it's still good enough to throw around.
Yeah.
All right.
Betcha said that you get tested the most because your piss is full of acid that melts
Right through the cup.
melts right through the
Yeah, I read that one.
Betcher's watching.
Yeah.
Betcher. Shout out to Derek Betcher.
Any other good ones for us, Nick? What about you? You see anything over there, Sam?
One of G's teammates got banned for Cialis, so
I was just writing back.
yeah.
So I should have done Viagra. It's good on both ends.
Boner pills.
Like the Jackal said, I don't go both ways.
Cool, man. Well, anything else we need to talk about on the show? I think it's kind of the end of the show, huh?
No, we got voicemails. We got.
Oh, I didn't know we had voicemails. Well, you're more than welcome to hang around, and we got some voicemails we're going to play. We'll open up the phone line, so you can jump in, or you can go get some hors d'oeuvres over there, whatever you want.
Whatever.
What voicemails we got? We're going to pop on the phone number again, so if you guys want to call in.
I don't think there's any BMXers doing any of this stuff. You guys are...
We don't know what we're doing, man. We just decided to do it. We're only on episode 4. We're just guessing out here. You can tell by our sweet graphics that we have on screen.
We have one.
I've never said yes to a podcast before. This
really?
Is the first one. Yep.
Oh, we took your podcast virginity. Yeah. There we go. You always remember your first.
My one and only.
We couldn't get on any, so we just did our own.
Yeah. Nobody wanted us.
Sad.
True. So
all right, we got one voicemail.
One voicemail, and then
a 1-800 number.
We had one guy call in and ask about freestyle. We told him to call back once you got here, so we'll
hopefully
see if he
calls back. Yeah, he had good insight.
Yeah, it was a good question.
Y'all, this is Dale calling back. I just want to ask you guys, what age is acceptable to stop letting my kids ride the Strider? My kid is 7 years old. Is that too old to ride a Strider rider at the races? And
Dale,
also, my daughter's got a Huffy. And do you think I should get a gyro helmet to go with the Huffy so she can start racing? Thanks, guys.
All right, Dale again. Dale calls every week.
I think that's like.
I think that's better.
He's the American Fitzwell.
He is. Yeah.
That's like it. Like if you're old enough to talk, you shouldn't be breastfeeding or on a Strider. You know?
Yeah.
Is that our only voicemail?
That's our only voicemail.
2 and he rides skate parks with a normal bike.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
2 years old.
2 years old.
That's rad. We just did a beginner league out at my track, and we had a 3-year-old class.
Damn.
Of kids. It's a 5-week program that we did, and by the end of the 5 weeks, these 3-year-olds were getting all the way around the racetrack.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's rad to see.
They're
for
cool
sure.
Bikes now for kids.
For sure, the pros of the future.
I know we had someone that wanted to call in, but I don't know.
I mean, we have a bunch of. I guess we could pull up the social media and look at what we have on there. I know there's a bunch of questions on there across the board. Yeah, how come all these?
Because they want to see the ladies up on deck. They want to see you in camera.
They want the ladies
who's getting on camera?
Yeah. Dale Fick.
Dale Fick.
Dale Fick says, "Bring Lauren at least on camera. We'll see some smiles, hear some laughs. Maybe a boob."
Mate, just one. Just one boob though, not two. Donnie said he might be going to the Olympics for women. He was talking about maybe going to the Olympics.
Donnie Robinson.
Yeah.
Call back in, Levi.
It might be Danielle Robinson. Yeah, Danielle. Donna Robinson. Donna Robinson might be going.
Back, Don. Ain't that big anyway.
Just go for the talk, and you're in the game, Don.
I saw him at his local track like 2 months ago or something. Out in
Yeah, out of Napa?
I was like, yeah, Napa. The Napa.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a call?
He's a good dude.
Hello, Cafe Willoughby.
Oh shit, they picked up.
Is it on speakerphone?
Hang on. All right, go ahead. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
We got you now.
Hey, it's Paul. Hi, Sam Teller. How you doing?
What's up, Paul?
What's up, guys? I mean, dude, whatever.
So Paul from Whitney Mesa?
Yeah.
Paul from Whitney Mesa.
Hey, so I got some questions here with this whole hoopla, and I got like a different perspective on this being a track operator now, and kind of being new to the sport, like 3 years into it. Do you, how do you see this affecting like BMX racing as a whole? I mean, to me, like a rookie guy looking in, it's almost like, yeah, skateboarding's rad, freestyle's rad. It's all good. BMX racing is good for the Olympics, but it's like almost in my mind, it's like the IOC kind of used BMX racing as almost a gateway drug to the extreme side of the sports side of the house, and kind of opened it up and as a test bed. And it's almost like, hey, yeah, now we got skateboarding, freestyle, BMX, and now we're going to cut down some numbers and just put it off to the wayside. And was it a test bed? Does it seem more appealing? I just want to get your guys' take on it. It's like, I don't know what the future holds for growing our sport, riders, or more people going to pick up, freestyle or even skateboarding since it's on the Olympics, and, it might draw a bigger crowd or whatnot, like you guys said with the sponsors and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like Dennis was saying, that they'll kind of collaborate, and that everyone will, pick what they're good at or pick what they enjoy more, and they'll kind of feed off of each other and build each other. But I think hopefully it takes away that one's a gateway to the other, and that now they both kind of offer somewhat of equal opportunity, and kids can choose what they like better, and they both got great outcomes or good futures in them.
I would agree. I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from having Dennis on is I maybe was a bit nervous how things were going to go bringing freestyle in, but by having you on and talk about that, I think the biggest thing that we can take from that is we need to embrace it as a sport on a whole on both sides and realize how much we can both learn from each other.
It's literally the same. We're using the same toy, like the same.
Yeah.
Piece of fun. We're just riding on different things and.
But how maybe more importantly, if this was really starting to grow and a potential thing that, like, if we're in the Olympics together, why can't we do more events together? Why can't we have an event where there's racing and freestyle, and in between our motos, you got to give us rest. You guys are doing
dirt jump contests at the tracks. Remember
that?
That's how I saw dirt jumping the first time.
Me too.
The Grands.
Me too.
There was one at the Grands last year. It was epic.
Was there?
But a real competition. It was more like a DK demo. Okay. Like DK, they built some jumps. It was more like a demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest thing that we can all take from this is hopefully that there is more crossover and we can work together, because there's going to be a lot that we can learn from you guys as far as mentality, and we're going to be able to help with you guys with your drug whereabouts and making sure your T-shirt has the right number and tucked in the right way.
But as a track operator, like maybe it offers the opportunity that you can put trails at the track or put a little park at the track, and you can kind of run both.
And maybe these guys, hopefully they do just promote cycling as a whole like we all do, and maybe it will bring some guys from the skate park in and over to it, because maybe they never even watched the Olympics, knowing that they didn't even know BMX racing was in the Olympics.
I'd say change your track up once a year, because that's why I stopped racing. Because the track was the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I completely agree, Dennis. So we got a lot of kids coming to the parks, and Tyler, you've seen it out here. The city does a pretty good job with skate parks, and they built trails right down the house. So, you jump the fence and rode it the one day it was closed, and kids will come out, from the park. They'll come out on the freestyle bikes or their 22-inch colony or whatever, and they'll be ripping it up, rad time.
Yeah.
But then they're like, all right, cool. Do I pay for a $60 membership? Like, no, I'm just going to use this free one day, tear it up, and I'll see it when I see it kind of deal. So, there's two sides to every story, of course, but I don't know. I didn't know if there was any kind of, cause for concern with everything, but you guys explained it well, said it, Dennis.
Yeah, you guys don't charge like skate parks. They'll just charge it's like $10 or whatever for a good skate park every time, or then the membership if you want to get the membership and you're going to go every day.
So we have to, as a track, it's required to have a USA BMX membership.
Just to ride it the one time?
No, not the one time. You can do a one-day member, but anything beyond that, you do need a USA BMX membership in order to ride the track.
That actually
it's for insurance and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps the track going, because without the insurance, the cities might not be into keeping a track open. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I wonder why skate parks don't have to do that.
Probably because the cities are funding the insurance.
Okay.
Because there's more involvement, there's more activity, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and if the city's funded, like they do out here, and the city, obviously owns my track, and I just operate it. But the city said, they can fund the insurance, but if you're not USA BMX, I mean, yeah, you can still come out, but if you're not part of a sanction, you know what I mean? Are you really gonna still come out and race at a non-sanctioned track for points that really don't count? You don't have to equate to anything, so.
Beginner league.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was like a fun enough track in my neighborhood, I'd ride it all the time. Like we always say that.
You're always out. You're always welcome out to my track, man. Anytime. You're always at the training center.
Really?
You didn't know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I run the BMX track that's at the training center.
I gotta check.
All right, thanks for calling in, Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
We've always talked about that. We're like, we don't really know.
All right, chat soon, mate.
Yeah. So there's 3 tracks on site. Catch you later, Paul. There's 3 tracks. There's 2 pro tracks and 1 amateur track. Mm-hmm. I run the amateur track. I probably have like the last 5 years.
Sick.
Yeah.
So you just come out with a helmet and it's all good.
Yeah, come out on like a practice night and something like that, and come out and
long pants.
yeah. Just what you have, what you have, and throw a helmet on and.
Oh, I'll
send
bring
it.
some people out. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We always talk about that.
I would love to, if you guys ever wanted to do anything, maybe we could put something together like what our state championship that we have coming up. Do just like a demo race with you guys. That'd be rad. Like just for fun to come out and.
Don't you guys do that?
This is Sarah Lampert.
Oh, they used to. Yeah.
That was like nasty and
yeah.
batters.
Hello.
Hi, is this Cafe BMX?
This is it.
This is Cafe Willoughby. How are you today?
Okay. I'm good. Here, I gotta pause the live feed. It's all laggy. Okay. What's up, boys? I just wanted to talk about women being included in the Olympics for freestyle.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. We're happy to hear your take. What do you think?
Where have I been? I've been chilling.
No, I said what do you think about it?
Oh, what I think it's an awesome step forward for girls because, as Dennis mentioned, we only have one actual contest that's all the way over in France. I mean, this is going to be in Tokyo.
Sure, thank you.
But it's just another event to kind of get the fire going for girls.
For sure.
If that makes sense, because it's hard to go from spot to spot, like paying your own way the whole time, and so the fact that there are going to be opportunities for girls to be recognized and possibly get sponsors out of this whole ordeal and be paid out on top of that, it's great.
For sure. Yeah, and I think a freestyle female is super marketable on an Olympic level. So there is going to be for sure opportunities there. I know personally going through an Olympic cycle, and I've worked with some corporate sponsors, and every time I do a commercial, it's, can you do like a flip or 360 or something, or so like that's what companies want to do these endorsement deals and whatever else. I guess the thing like we're kind of discussing with Dennis earlier is like there are a lot of talented chicks here in the US, and but the way the Olympic format's going to work is only 9 girls are going to get to go, and one of them is going to be from the US. So it's the opportunities are super limited is kind of the point that we've been getting at all night. So I guess what's your take on that, and do you know the format?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I understand the format and everything, but I was kind of I was thinking of girls as you guys were talking, and there's definitely enough from each country who are talented to get there. It's just they might have not been as well marketed or known.
Yeah.
There's a girl from the Netherlands, there's a handful from Chile, there's one from Argentina, Spain, Korea, Australia, there's a couple from Mexico, Canada. So they're definitely out there. It's just you might not have heard of them. So I don't think filling the spots is going to be hard. It is a bummer that, like you said, it's a limited opportunity, but at the same time, people are going to work harder. They're going to want to, they're going to want to have that, I think, especially because the girls, we're all homies and we're all super awesome and chill, but we are competitive and we do want to be recognized and help make this sport better for girls. And so if we can do that by competing, we're all going to try our best.
For sure. No, it's good.
Yeah, you guys kill it with all your jams and everything you do. Like you said, you guys pay your own way, and you guys do so much. I'm always so impressed.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, I mean, we all want to be there, and we all want to have fun and just kind of have our voices heard. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, the fact that we're being included in the Olympics, that's pretty awesome. That's a huge step.
And these guys were saying, I think you guys think that we have a lot more contests and things like super legit. We have a lot, but like the legit ones are pretty rare, and especially for girls, like they don't have very anything to compete in, like she's saying. So
hopefully it creates some structure.
Yeah,
and
even if
gives
you're not
them-
going to get in the Olympics, it's going to be way more opportunity.
Right.
And for amateurs, like it's hard telling your parents like. Say like she was younger and she like wants a BMX bike and she just goes to the skate park and they're like, what do you like, is there any contest we can take you to? And you're like, no, like then it's kind of like a parent's like,
yeah, it was a parent like, well, what's the future of it for a female? Like
just
what are
keep
you
going to the skate park and live at the skate park every day, or is there going to be what can you do with this? And the more contests and amateur and jams and things like that to just go to, the better, because parents can get behind it and it's something to support. But without anything to focus on, or it's kind of hard for parents to support it.
We saw that across the board with BMX. Is a lot of people, men and women, everything. They're like, okay, well now there's something for my kid to chase.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Something huge. Too.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a question, Sam?
Would I guess we had a question come in like, you being a female, that's obviously this is something that's on your radar. Would you be offended as a female rider if the men had more spots than the women? Because right now in the, I guess with equality and stuff, that there's 9 and 9. Would it offend you if it was 10 and 20 or?
So this is my take on it. It's such a long-winded conversation because there are so many different things that go into who deserves to be at the Olympics or who deserves to be at a contest. You know, how many numbers, how many spots. But overall, I think, you know, it should be equal. I mean, I'm sorry that the guys are losing some of their spots, but hey, work your ass off harder, you know, to get there. And eventually, if people are going to play, well, the girls are at the level that the guys are, well, hopefully some more funding will go into it so those events are.
I don't think it's a level issue. Yeah. I don't think the issue is the level. I think that both are talented in their own right. I think the issue comes more from a participation standpoint, in that, you know, like a FIS or however you say it, competition might have 61 guys and a girls has 12. So should it be scaled more according to those numbers?
Yeah, I don't think we ever had a problem with what the women bring to the table, because it's awesome on the racing side as well, and we're well aware of that. It's just that there's a strictly numbers thing, is that there's going to be way more participants in the male side than female, and there's going to be way less opportunity for more probably potentially deserving guys to be there that should have a shot and aren't going to, just in the name of equality.
Right. No, I understand, and that's why I'm saying it's kind of like, it's this weird thing, because you're going to have a smaller pool to pull from with a larger participating spot versus, you know, a more saturated numbers, because, you know, there are more girls who ride than, there are more guys than girls who ride. So, like, I understand that and I get that, but, like, if it's at the contest level, why shouldn't it be equal, you know, because then you're going to have those best numbers. That's my opinion, and I think it should be the same.
10-4.
Fair enough. Thanks for calling in and sharing your insight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Later.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
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 All
Good
right.
points.
Yeah,
Good insight.
Yeah.
Also, women make babies, so.
From Nick Long, women make babies. That is a good.
They can't do it alone.
They can't do it alone. It takes two to party.
Actually, they can these
More
days.
girls at the after party.
Dennis says the more girls at the Olympics, the better after parties. So.
Trust me, it's not.
No, me and Sam were eating glass by ourselves. It was that kind of after party.
Yeah.
Because we both lost. It was fantastic.
Your face when he said that was priceless. Like,
Hello, Cafe Willoughby.
Hey, I'm calling back. I got a little nervous the first time. Want to apologize for that.
That's fine.
First question here, and it's quick for Dennis. Do you run a free coaster or a cassette?
Free coaster.
Free coaster? I'm a cassette person myself, but whatever.
You suck, Dennis.
Whatever you're into.
What's this red button do?
No, I feel you. Cassettes are
The
cool.
important one.
Everyone else here rides a cassette.
Yeah.
The second question is because the Olympic Committee, I think, is coming out with their own TV channel this summer, and we won't have to worry about this until 4 years from now. But if BMX is marketed right in the park scene, do you think it could open up to more parks? Because as you know, there's a skate park in Orange County, Volcom, that
if you ride your bike in there and the cops catch you, you get kicked out. So do you think it could open up, just let the parks a little loose that allow only skateboards, or?
I think for sure. I think that's already such a bullshit rule. It's like straight up segregation, and Southern California is one of like the harshest places on it, and BMX is from here, which is really weird, and not enough people are fighting for it. And I think even though it's not as bad as it was when I first started riding, it's like pretty much every park in San Diego you can ride now legally, I think. But yeah, still in Orange County and Irvine, there's still some crazy rules. So yeah, with this Olympic thing, is just another good reason to be like, why can't we ride here? What do you mean? Like, makes no sense. So hopefully.
And I definitely think so. from like the BMX racing side, we have seen a lot of facilities across the country being built because it is an Olympic sport. Yeah. So that I think is going to open up a lot more if it's taken and marketed right from whoever your higher up officials are. I mean, it's going to really could really change the game for you guys as far as what you guys have to ride.
Yeah, just the word Olympics is so like meaningful to people.
No, it really is.
Nick Puke, but
really, but it really is more importantly the city officials who are deciding, should we put a soccer field here or a skate park here? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's going to create a difference for you. So I think you will probably see more skate parks going up everywhere, or bikes being allowed in more. So good question, man. Thanks for the call.
No problem. You guys have a good night. Thank you for the plate last week.
Sweet. Thanks, Levi.
Later, man.
Catch you later. All right. So, coming up on a little over 2 hours, should we put a fork in the show?
Let's go to the adult show.
After dark?
After dark show.
What have we got for that?
What do you want?
What do you got?
All right, Dennis, man. Well, we really appreciate you, this being the only podcast you've ever done. Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming and hanging out with a couple racers. It's good to see you, bro.
Much love to both of you guys.
Thank you. You guys heard it here first on Cafe Willoughby, all the good stuff on the Olympic gossip. Thank you guys for joining us. See you guys next Monday, huh? All right, catch you guys later. See you next week.